Good afternoon, guten Tag, bonjour, welcome to the National High Performance Complex here in Krefeld, Germany. We had an action-packed day of cricket for you yesterday, and there is more to come today between these two nations. We saw Germany come through with 2 victories yesterday, and today it is up to the French to respond. We can't wait to see how they do it, and we're glad that you're with us, and it's coming to you right now. And welcome everybody to the Bayer Uerdingen Cricket Ground, the National High Performance Complex here in Krefeld, Germany. We've got another fantastic day of action all in front of us, and look at these beautiful shots we're getting of the ground. We've got our little buzzing mosquito up there with the camera attached to his back. We call him Ronald the mosquito, and he's giving us fantastic shots at the moment of a beautiful place to play cricket. The sun is shining. Clouds are up there, they're nice big fluffy things floating above us, not a sign of any inclement weather to be had, and really perfect conditions for what we have in store of us. And the coin toss should be starting very shortly. Looks like we're about ready for it, so let's go to that. Now before the coin toss, we're going to go. So we've got Huji out there on the ground. He's actually organised something for us. Huji, tell us what you've got there.
It's a bright and beautiful afternoon here in Krefeld, Germany. And with me, I have a really special player, Emma Wagner. We're here in the midst of a wonderful series where the German women are taking on the French women in a contest that's been one-sided so far, but you never know how the tides can turn. It's Emma Wagner here, who is only 16 years old and the youngest player in the German women's team at the moment. And she's also probably one of the highest wicket takers that the team has to show at the moment. Emma, could you kindly say a few words about how you picked this game up? What was your journey like before you joined this team?
Yeah, so I started when I was 10. I played for 6 months in a youth club that my mum introduced me to. But unfortunately that club fell down and it stopped the youth training, and I was too young to start women's cricket then. So 2 years later my mum found out that they'd started training and someone younger than me was playing. So she took me along to a training session and I haven't stopped.
That's brilliant. So what facets of the game do you really like? Of course you're a bowler and you've been doing spectacularly well, but you also enjoy batting and fielding. What makes you tick?
So I am a bowler, but I do enjoy to field. I like batting, but I'm really not the best, so I wouldn't say it's one of my strengths at all.
All right. And how do you see German cricket growing over the next few years with youngsters like you joining the squad? And there's clearly been a lot of growth over the last few years. How exactly do you see this going ahead?
So I think there's a lot of potential in Germany, especially for youth clubs. We have to get into the schools and definitely show the Germans that it's not a boring game as they all think it is, and to spread what cricket is throughout, and then I think we can really pick it up with youth, women's, men's cricket everywhere.
Brilliant. How have you been enjoying this tournament so far, and what would you like to take away? You still have 3 games to go. Do you have specific goals? How exactly are you approaching these games?
Yeah, so it's been great so far. I've really enjoyed it. I think it's quite nice playing in Krefeld. We haven't really played on this wicket much, so it's quite a new experience for everyone. I would quite like to take a few wickets. I haven't taken any yet, so that is my goal. Maybe take a couple catches and see what happens.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot for sharing those thoughts with us, Emma. It's a pleasure watching you play, and you're brilliant. You certainly have a bright future ahead of you, and keep doing the good work.
Thank you.
Well, this has sure been a great display of the up-and-coming talent in French and German cricket. We heard from Emma Wagner, the youngest German player, and now with me I've got the youngest French player, Marie Violot. Hello Marie, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
And could you tell us a little bit about how you got into playing cricket?
Yeah, I studied cricket at school. I had an English teacher, James Radcliffe, who taught me how to play, and then I went in the club in Nantes, close to my house, and I started to play like 1 year ago.
Fantastic. 1 year you've been playing, and yet you put in one of the best bowling performances yesterday of the French side. Do you prefer to bowl or bat?
I like both, but I really enjoyed bowling, so it's a pleasure to be here and to bowl for this team.
Fantastic. And can you describe for us what club cricket in France is like? You're playing for a club?
Yeah, I'm playing for a club, which is in Nantes, west coast of France. And we have a pretty club which has women and men teams, and also youngest players. So it's really great to be in this club.
Okay, and in the last year, have you seen growth in participation of both men and women in cricket in France?
Yeah, in France there is a big growing, because there are many clubs who start cricket and there is development into school for children, so it allows us to develop more and more cricket and to see more and more women and men playing, so it's great.
Here we are out in the center of the High Performance National Sporting Complex in Krefeld, Germany. We're on the pitch. It's a beautiful day, about 24 degrees, looking to get a little bit warmer. And with us we have our captains and match referee. So Emanuela and Adorada, we are going to turn to you to do the toss. The call is heads. So the call is tails, and Germany will be having a bat. We're waiting for an action-packed day of excitement here. Can't wait for you to join us, and we'll see you in the commentary box. Over to you, Uji.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. This is a bright and lovely day here in Krefeld, Germany, as we see the very first ball being bowled by Cindy Bredesche and this familiar sight of the German openers Christina Goff and Anna Healy. Anna Healy is on strike at the moment. This is game number 3 as Cindy runs in. This one's bowled at a good length outside off, and Anna Healy there just having a nice little swat at the ball, but playing and missing. So the scene is set for game 3, and we're expecting the French team to give the German team a bigger fight today than they had over the last couple of games. This ball is floated up on the full to Anna Healy, who drives it straight down the mid-off. It's well fielded there. That's something that we saw yesterday throughout the first 2 games. The French were quite sprightly in the field, diving around to save the modest totals that they put up, trying to do everything they could to try and defend those totals. But the Germans came up on tops yesterday. Let's see if they can do just that today and take their long winning streak another notch higher. Cindy there bowling that one on the full but on the leg again. Anna Healy driving that straight to the fielder at shot mid wicket. This one's bowled outside off stump at a good length, and Anna is happy to just let that one go. So Cindy has been an effective bowler for the French team. Very watchful there, making sure they probably lay a solid foundation here, Anna and Christina. Cindy's finding really good lines and lengths at the moment, and Anna is just as happy and content to keep that one out. So that wraps up the very first over of the day. And an unusual sight with the German team batting. We've seen them play out a maiden over. So their task is cut out to them today, the French team. It's an uphill task. And we saw Jo speaking with Marie earlier on today, who was sharing her excitement for representing the French national team. So there's clearly a lot of young cricketers breaking into the frame of things here, with European cricket on the emerging scenes. You can expect Mari to float a few up about the eye line of Christina Goff. But Christina is also a powerful striker of the ball. Let's see if she's going to fall for the bait that Mari is sure to set a trap for. Just as expected, Mari floats that one up about Christina Goff's eye line. But Christina uses her feet, takes it on the full, and drives that down to mid-off for a single. Lots of encouragement there for the bowler from the fielders, as Mari brings in another fielder to plug that gap at shot fine leg. Anna Healy is going to take strike now. She played out the first over, so she'll be looking to get off the mark. Once again, we see the German batters using their feet effectively, taking that ball on the full. Mari's been floating these balls up about the eye line, trying to deceive the batters in the flight. But the batters have been up for the task so far. A late call there. A loud shout there from the keeper. But uneventful end to that one. So Christina is very watchful and is a quick judger of line and length. She picked that this one was going to bounce full and decided to stay back in her crease and drove that one beautifully through the offside. Didn't give this one so much air, Mari. Effective variations here in terms of the flight of the ball from Mari. Once again, up about the eye line, but Anna Healy enjoys it there, takes it on the full, and belts that one about the fielder at mid-on for the first boundary of the day. And I think with the sun out, we might actually see the outfield cooperate a little bit more than it did yesterday. We saw a lot of these balls just plugging in the outfield and trickling down tantalizingly close to the ropes, only to stop before crossing them. So that was the first boundary of the day, and a very nice hit from Anna there. Mari floats this one wide outside off stump, and that one's called a wide. She'll be looking to close this over nicely. She had a good start to the over until that full toss that was put away effectively. She tries to use her feet there, Anna, but rocked back to cut that one into the gap on the offside. An energetic running there from the Germans to get two there. So that brings us to the end of the second over. And despite the fact that the first over was a maiden, the Germans are off to a reasonably good start with 10 runs on the board at the end of 2 overs. The French will be trying to keep things tidy. And joining me in the comm box right now is my good mate, Joe Weggs. Joe, how are you doing today, mate? And welcome.
Good morning, OG. How are you, mate?
Doing well, and it's afternoon here, Joe.
Yeah, oh, it is. Yes, thank you very much. It's the amount of intense cricket we've had over the last day and a bit, getting my times wrong then once again. So, what a great start for the French, and then that last over just letting it slide a little bit.
Sure, as we see Cindy run up again. She bowls this one down the leg side, missed by the keeper over there. Myla there, she's been effective yesterday throughout the course of the first 2 games, but fails to gather this one. So how was your evening, Joe?
Yes, very good, very good. We took it easy. Went and found some lovely Syrian food here in Krefeld.
Cindy tracks that one short and down the leg side, and Christina Goff strikes that effectively in the fine leg area, and she'll be capable of running back for the second there.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good start by the French, but just like I said, letting it slide a little bit here. They really have to try and get into this opening pair because, as we've seen, these two batters are extremely dangerous, especially once they get their eye in. And with that, floating the ball up, of course, it's all going to be about good footwork from the batters, and we know these two have it.
This one's bowled outside off on the full. Christina drives it into the offside. There's a lot of excitement there from the French fielders. They're trying to run these batters out, but that was a pretty safe single to take.
Yeah, they just have such a good energy about them. L'esprit, the French. They've got the spirit, and for sure they have been working hard since yesterday's play to try and improve on some of the things that they might have felt they let themselves down in.
Certainly, Joe. This has definitely come through the conversations we've been having with these players over the course of the last couple of days. Cindy Britesh draws this lofted shot, and whoa, that was caught on the second attempt, much to the delight of the bowler and all the fielders closing in. Drawing this false shot from the batsman, from the batter, apologies. Anna Healy there is not so pleased with herself. She threw the false stroke by dangling this one outside off, and I think she rolled her fingers over it, deceiving Anna with that slower one, and much to the delight of Cindy Britesh, Tara Britton manages to hang on to that one on second attempt.
Yeah, what a great catch. That is so difficult to take. That went so high in the sky, it almost threatened to bring the reins down with it. And, of course, very difficult to position yourself under that. The ball also moves around in the air. It swirls around, and we just saw there, I think it was Tara Britton out there who took the catch. And she made an absolutely fantastic effort there, not only getting herself into position, but the ball popped up and she managed to get everything under it and clutched it in. So a great start now for the French. That's what they wanted. Get rid of that danger player in Healy. Of course, bringing the skipper onto the crease. Dota Balapur.
That's right. She's at the non-striker's end now as Christina takes her guard once again. She drives this one straight back to Cindy, who manages to tidy up.
I really like the bowling of Cindy Britesh. She was very good yesterday. Of course, a little bit of nerves playing on the French team. They know that they are up for a big fight here, but she has started so well today and really deserved that wicket.
I also enjoyed that stare there at the end of that ball from Cindy. Drags this one short down the leg side, but well gathered by Mael.
Yeah, it's the key weapon of every opening bowler, a menacing glare. It's all about the mind games out there in the middle, and all about momentum. And that the momentum was threatening to go away from the French there, and they have just pulled it right back.
Christina placed this one watchfully, meeting the ball underneath her eyes there. Perfect technique from Christina. And that will be a dot ball to wrap up the third over as Germany moves to 14 with the loss of their first wicket.
And just getting a good clarification here, we've been calling Cindy Britesh the wrong thing. It's Briteche. So very big thanks there to Santa Divina. They're on our European and our YouTube chat channel, European Cricket Network. Please get involved in there. We love to hear from you. It's we're not all polyglots like many Europeans, and it's great to see the variety of names and characters out there as Violo, one of those, comes on.
Anuradha faces her first ball, and this one will be called a wide. Mari dragged that one a little short and a little too wide outside off. And Anuradha was happy to let that one go by and accept that run as a result of that wide. This one's flighted way up above Anuradha's eye line once again. I see the spirit in Marie's attempt to deceive the batter with her flight, and she's also varying this consistently through the course of her over. Let's see if this can lead to something effective. Well, she bowls this one wide outside off once again, and the umpire will have no problems calling that a wide. More control is what we'd like to see from Marie at this point. Anuradha was happy to let that one go as well. This one was rather close to that wide line, but the umpire decides that he was happy with where that passed Anuradha. Shot and wide outside off, and Anuradha strikes that one beautifully into the offside for an easy single. Well fielded there by Irma Rignaud, who is sweeping up there on the offside as the field moves around for Christina Goff, who's coming back on strike. Joe, do you think we can expect a few fireworks soon enough?
I think if Christina Goff gets some full tosses like that one, she might start looking to break this field. But
One of the
trust that that Marie, she's going to try and contain these batters as much as she can.
Marie consistently floating this one about the batter's eye lines, trying to draw the fall shot, but Anuradha is up for the task at the moment. Marie runs up once again. This one shot enough for Anuradha to rock back and cut that into the offside for another single. So Joe, one of the distinct differences we spotted yesterday between the French batters and the Germans was the use of their feet. So I think the French batters were staying rooted to their crease, not really moving forward or back effectively. And we can clearly see that the Germans are making very good use of their feet. When Murray was pulling the ball short, they're happy to rock back and cut that. And here we saw Christina using her feet to come down the track, take that on the full, and rotate the strike.
Yeah, it's something we learnt with this pitch, isn't it, Uji, that if you are flighting it up and it's really coming down, it can bounce. And the trick there, of course, is to either pick the length and get to the pitch of the ball, or to really see it early and get back. And we see the Germans doing that really well, but I know that the French team have been working on this very hard.
That's right.
And I can't wait to see them also bat and see them implement the lessons that they took from yesterday.
Right, and at the end of 4 overs, the German team has moved to 21 for the loss of 1 wicket. They'll be trying to make the most of the last couple of overs left in this power play.
I've just noticed a little spider friend crawling around our table here, and then I felt something in my ear, Uji.
That should be familiar, Joe. You're Australian, aren't you?
Could be a mental trauma I have. Had to check my headset.
Some PTSD.
Nothing in there.
Familiar encounters with big spiders there, Joe. As we see a bowling change here from the French team. I think this is Ali Brodin.
Yeah, it looks like
has been brought in.
Also bowled very well yesterday, Brodin, and did a little bit of a job with the bat as well.
Yeah, she did. This one dragged shot though, and Christina's eyes lit up there. She pulls that one strongly into the leg side, but once again we see this outfield just stopping the ball from going over the boundary. That one truly deserved 4 runs there, Joe.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed not to have gotten that. You can see her there on the field asking her skipper, how hard do I need to hit it to find that boundary? Well, harder than that, it looks like, Christina.
That was off the sweet spot.
It really was, and a good pull shot as well. You just cannot bowl too short to Goff. She is probably the tallest German player, and so a lot of those short balls just sit up for her.
Another shot ball. This one's clubbed into the leg side, and did that make...
Up and away, Uji. That's a 6.
It did make it all the way, didn't it? That's a 6, and the first one we've seen in this tournament so far. Brilliant batting there from Christina. She's waiting for that one. It was shot in her arc. And boy, did she hit it out of the park.
Yeah, that was just showing her pure class. Christina Goff, what a batter she is. And wonderful to see the boundary being breached in this series.
Just 1 ball ago, she was admonishing the fact that this outfield was slow, and she decided to clear it altogether.
Yeah, what a solution.
Brondy runs in. She corrects her line and length this time around.
Much better from Claudine, and that's what they've got to do. The bowling can tend to be flighted up a little bit, but if you can just shoot some in a little bit flatter, a little bit straighter, catch the batter off guard. That was a great delivery. Great response to being hit for 6.
She's focused there, isn't she? Alex Brodin looks like she's ready for this job. She could use more of her front arm, though, in her bowling strike to get more momentum behind that ball. But I guess this is something that they'll look into and work on behind the scenes.
It's an economical technique, that's for sure. Not wasting too much energy there, Brodin.
Anuradha is on strike now, facing Brodin for the first time in this game.
Yeah, and she's going to come around the wicket.
She's got a nice backlift there, Anuradha. That one will be called a wide. So they're erring in line over here within these first 5 overs, the French team so far. That one's dragged down a rank shot ball. I think she was trying to surprise her with this bouncer, but got her radar all mixed up. Easy decision there for the umpire. I guess that's the best ball she bowled this over. That was beautifully flighted on the full. Anuradha is happy to defend that one onto the offside.
Really great way to finish the over there. And after the 5th, it is 33 for 1. And that was a good response. And that's what we're seeing from the French team. They are taking their lessons and implementing what they have learned, whether that is through the course of a match or a day or overnight or even during an over. And we saw Brodin do that just then. She got her length much better with that final delivery. And the skipper, well, she just happy to remain at the non-striker's end and try and watch the golf show, because she sure put on a show in that last over that she was facing from Brodin. 2 beautiful pull shots.
Yeah, it was about time we saw some of those balls breaching the boundaries, Joe.
And we're going to see Jennifer King now coming on. Jennifer. Got the headband. That's a threatening... oh, excuse me. It's Poppy McGowan. Got my numbers wrong. So not Jennifer. It's Poppy McGowan, and she's been pulled through square leg. Again, that extra fielder out there being the long grass. Holding it up, keeping them just to the 2 runs. And just getting a question on the live chat from Elaine Chance. Emma Chance. The question is she playing in this match? She is 12th person. She's 12th woman for this this match at the moment. Emma Chance.
Oh.
As that one is outside off and driven into the offside for a single. Yeah, she just mixing up their squad a little bit. So Emma Chance, she will get her chance. Again, we're sure she put in a great show in the field. Yep. So Poppy McGowan coming in for a 3rd delivery. And that's driven straight down the ground. Really nice shot, but unable to breach the infield.
It's also the first time that the German team has gotten the opportunity to bat first in this series so far.
Well, they've had the opportunity, but they've been choosing to bowl. They've won every toss so far.
I stand corrected indeed.
As that is outside off. It's in a really good channel. Really nice keeping as well. And Anuradha, she was just trying to pull that from outside off to the leg side and deceived by the flight. And so a good dot ball.
So considering this is the first time they're batting first in the series so far, how much do you reckon this German team can put on the board, Joe?
I think they would be pushing 120 if they can keep wickets in hand and go at the rate that we know they are capable of, which would be a formidable total. As that one
this one's hits
a good ball, hit very hard back at the bowler, Poppy McGowan, and she did great to prevent it getting past her. So excellent follow-up. It's not easy. Might have even been a chance. It was up-ish. Let's have a look at this. Oh, it was a chance. It really was a chance. So Poppy McGowan should be disappointed not to have snaffled that, but it was a tough ask. And that is hit in the air down to the mid-wicket region.
Catches win matches, and that one might just prove to be a little costly there. Dropping the captain before she gets into her innings.
Yeah, it can be, and she was just beaten by the pace of the ball there, I think, a little bit, just playing through it. So after 6 overs, it is 37 for 1. And the Germans are just building here, but of course with the loss of that 1 wicket, the French have shown themselves they can do this. They've got what it takes to make a dent in this German batting lineup.
Nearly a 2nd wicket there too, and I think wickets is what can end up putting some pressure on this German side. They do bat quite deep.
Yeah, they do.
Can we get another one here from the French?
Looks like it's going to be Brettache coming back on to bowl. I'm absolutely stoked to know how to pronounce her name properly now. It's a good lesson in what accents mean in the French language. So that one is lofted up and wide. Down leg side, good keeping to stop it going through, but it will be another run to the total. And in fact, this isn't Brettache, it's Sabina Baron. Sabina, so we haven't seen her bowling yet so far. But we're getting a good look at it now, and that was much better. It was in the channel.
And they've been spraying it around a little bit here so far in these first 6.5 overs.
And that is no ball. She's been called for a no ball, so they will get an extra. And yeah, already 9 wides we've seen. And then, of course, this no ball, which will mean a free hit for Anuradha. And that's exactly what you don't want to be giving the Germans at the moment. They don't need an extra batsman, effectively. 10 wides already, or 9 wides and 1 no ball.
And that one's called a no ball for cutting across the popping crease there.
Yeah, and that's good batting again. Just seeing it, it was short and she wanted to pull it, but she knew there is a fielder out there at deep square leg. Much better to let it pass, pick up the sundry and have another go. Oh, she's hit that one straight up in the air. There's 2 fielders coming around. Who's going to take it? It was really a raffle between them. But at the end of the day, it was a good call.
For those of you who are watching, this wouldn't have mattered in any case, since a wide ball meant that the follow-up delivery would still be a free hit.
Yeah, it was the no ball, of course. And I gave her the free hit, so she wouldn't have been out, but it's good to get the confidence of the bowler up there, knowing that she can induce the top edge. And talking about inducing, well, that is a sensational piece of fielding. Christina Goff, she just hits it like an absolute bullet, and that was flying towards the boundary.
Excellent work there from Jennifer King in the deep.
It was Jennifer King down there indeed, and she managed to stop any more than just the single in the end. So that was a good result for France. And that's good work from Anuradha. She just got down on one knee. There's a run-out chance. And it looks like we've got a tortoise out there on the field. That ball just hit the deck and popped right up off the tortoise shell.
I've been extremely impressed by the fielding that the French women's team has put up on show for us here.
That one's full and driven down to mid-off.
Although they dropped a couple of catches yesterday, their ground fielding has been really sharp, Joe.
Yeah, they've been really good in the field, really energetic. So much chatter. You can probably hear it there in our microphones. They are up and about. So one's short and pulled away. Again, the fielder out there, very good form, getting down on the knees, getting everything behind it. The balls can really pop up if they are bouncing along a deck that isn't quite even. It's a little bit of a contour to this field. She did really well to stop that. And this one's short again and down leg side, and Christina Goff thinks, no, I've played enough pull shots for the moment. I'll let that one go. And so it's another run into the total.
You can see her eyes lighting up each time that ball's dragged down short.
And this one's short and outside off and pushed off the back foot. They're running through for a single. And I'll tell you what, it's probably the one weak spot that they will want to attack as the 7th over comes to an end, and it's 48-1 to Germany. Christina Goff is such a powerful batter, and she uses her feet. She's got shots all around the ground. I would say the one weak point is her running between the wickets, and that is where the French will be looking to capitalize if they can. She tends to watch the ball after she's hit it before taking off for the run.
All right, they're striking just under 7 here at the end of the first 7 overs. 48-1. The French will be looking to find another couple of wickets here quickly to try and swing this momentum back towards themselves.
So it's Poppy McGowan. Oh, and that's a good ball from Poppy. That's very good. It's the right length and not drifting up too much, so it just pops up at Christina Goff, and she is certainly capable enough. She's already moved to 22 off only 20 deliveries. Oh, it's good bowling. It's great bowling, and that is very unfortunate that she played all around that, Christina Goff, and it just seamed into her.
Well,
Really good line, just seamed into her and goes between the bat and the pad, and it just misses the stumps. Oh, that will break your heart, but also give you some confidence.
well, the French really have to start taking their chances here. I think that was a beautiful ball from Poppy McGowan, inducing that full stroke from Christina, who lost her shape there for once, but the keeper fails to gather.
Good bowling again, and Christina turned a little bit inside out there. She got the leading edge, so that will also give heart to Poppy. She is at least veering towards chances, half chances, quarter chances. That was not a shot played with any great confidence. Trying to put it to the onside, getting the leading edge. And that one's staying just a little bit far, but they're asking the question. Yes, it's count. Oh, fantastic. Unbelievable scenes here. That was
Poppy McGowan not wasting any time there.
Yep, she's just been creating chance after chance and getting that edge, putting it a little bit straighter on the leg side to the left-hander. And that's always a threat when you're a left-hander if the ball's coming in. Right-hander going around the wicket, and just really, really great keeping as well to take that catch. And aren't they excited? This French team, they just have so much spirit.
Excellent grab from Maëlle Karjgu as well. Down the leg side, it's not easy being a wicket keeper.
No, it's really not, especially when it's going down the leg side. And I can just see, you can tell already, Uji, that this is going to be a tighter contest. Now, the Germans have already put on 48, and that will be, threatening the totals that the French ladies made yesterday. But already taking those 3 wickets.
Right. It might also be interesting to see how they'll bat, considering that they'll have a target that's projected before they get started. This might just help them plan their innings a little bit better, approach it more effectively.
Yeah, that's right. Very often you want to bat first because it puts automatic pressure on the side at batting second to chase down a total. It can be a lot more difficult than if you have the freedom to go out and put on a total. But then again, I think the French can play with a little bit of laissez-faire attitude, you might say, just knowing that whatever the Germans put on, they've got nothing to lose, and they can go out there, play their shots, and put themselves in with a chance. But a great start. Poppy McGowan, she has been bowling fantastically this over. And that is another good delivery on the offside and just defended. We've got Janet Ronalds has come out to bat, and her first ball just plays with the straight face of the bat. And after 8 overs, well, Germany, they're on 48 for 2.
So the French here pulling things back ever so slightly. The Germans are still striking at 6 over. So they'll not be too unhappy with where they're at the end of the first 8 overs of this innings. But the French certainly putting their foot in the door, saying, well, we're here to compete as well. And they're certainly doing that as we see a bowling change. It will be Theo Graham who's going to bowl from the industrial end now.
Yeah, and T Graham, she showed a lot of fight yesterday with the bat and with the ball. Very capable cricketer, knows what she wants here, just arranging her field. And just say a big hello to everyone joining us on the live chat. We're getting some great comments, a lot of fiery support coming from France as well. And all over the world, actually. Jay Hayes there in Australia in stormy Perth. G'day, Jay. As that one is short and pulled up in the air. It's going to beat the fielders. But, of course, they've got the aid of that sluggish outfield. And they'll manage to pull it up and keep it to just the 2 runs.
Sabine Barron there in the field, who's herring behind it, tearing across the outfield. But as Joe mentioned, this outfield is they're here to assist the fielders, making sure it's not running away too fast towards the boundary.
Yeah, we saw Christina Goff show how to deal with it. Hit it over the fence. As that one is short outside off and cut very nicely by Adarada. Adarada, she didn't manage to beat the fielder out there at deep point, but she hit it so sweetly. Just such impeccable timing. And yeah, Christina Goff clearing the field for the first time this series. It was a wonderful shot. And we sure would like to see more of that. And I'll tell you what, if there is a batter out there in the middle who can do it, well, both of these extremely capable, but Janet Ronalds, we know, she sure can play her shots. So she's just getting ready, just getting her gloves on.
Tia Graham here should try and bowl it a little fuller. I think she's been a little too short in these first couple of balls. Try and induce a fall shot here.
And that one is cut pretty nicely. It was a bit up-ish, but evading all the fielders and good running from these two as well. Picking up the 2 that she called it straight away, Janet. And they come back for the second run. So Germany, they move to 53 for 2.
Excellent.
Halfway through the 9th over.
Excellent running from Janet as well. So if you see how she turned at the non-striker's end with the bat in her hand, facing the right direction, that of the ball and the fielder.
Yeah, and well left there as well, giving due respect to Tia Graham. And that's the one permissible bouncer, we might say, the umpire says. Getting up to around shoulder height. But a good ball and well left by Ronalds. That's cut away really nicely. And a great diving attempt as well in the field there.
They're not shy when it comes to diving around in the field. That was Sandeep Ritesh here.
Yeah, Poppy McGowan it was. Tried to get that left hand to it. But just showing that energy. That one's fuller and on the onside and driven nicely by Anarada. The captain of Germany. She loves scoring runs. She loves taking wickets. And at the end of 9 overs, it is 55 for 2.
So nice and steady here from the Germans so far. I think they're probably trying to rebuild after losing those 2 wickets. Christina Goff, certainly one of the bigger hitters in the team. And having lost that wicket, they probably just want to rebuild for a bit before they try and launch once again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they're going to have to rebuild against Poppy McGowan. She bowled a sensational over previously, and we'll be looking to repeat it. As that one's driven uppishly, but beats the fielders. And they run through for the 1.
Rotating the strike often helps both batters get settled. That's how you can build effective partnerships, that you can ever so often find yourselves marooned at the non-striker's end.
A fuller ball and does not get hold of it. Janet, she's unhappy about that. She knew that it was there for the taking, but I think Poppy just taking a little bit of pace off it. And it wasn't floating up too much, and Janet unable to play the cover drive that she was dreaming of as she watched it come down to her. That's foolish again. It should be no balled. Yep. Pulled away to square. Janet gets a single. And Anuradha Dodabalapur is going to get a free hit.
What this does mean, though, is that the French team can now change the field because of the fact that they managed to take a single there.
And that's again too full and been swept away. Not going to get the result that she would have wanted, Anuradha. But just getting the one more run to the total. And it's difficult for the French with this pair, of course, because they are a formidable batting pair, these two. Very experienced. Janet Ronald, she scored 100 in a T20 against Austria recently. And that she's just driven quite defensively, but the ball just shaping away from her a little bit, so it runs 2 points, and it is a dot ball.
It's lovely to see so much active participation from all the fans across the world.
Oh, that one's been struck down to cow corner. That is going to reach the boundary. Yes, 4 runs to Ronald. Excellent shot. Got to the pitch of the ball. She knew where the gap was, and she hit it directly there. And it is great to see value for her shot. Hit it uppishly in the air, and the momentum managed to carry it all the way to the boundary.
That was a piece of beautiful timing there from Janet Ronalds. She didn't hit that one too hard, but the timing was good enough to ensure that she could get full value for that shot.
That's a good piece of bowling from Poppy. And Ronalds was not playing that too confidently. It did shape away, but she did enough just to get the edge down to the ground, and it rolled away. And so after 10 overs, it is 64 for 2.
So that's the midway stage of this innings from Germany. They'll be relatively pleased with where they are. They're scoring at over 6 an over with 10 more overs to go. But Poppy McGowan has been outstanding in her spell so far. That important breakthrough of Christina Goff has brought it back a little bit for the French there. And the game is nicely poised midway through this first innings. Can Janet Ronalds add to her tally? Well, she certainly will keep rotating and keep the scoreboard ticking. Nicely played that into the offside, and that'll be a single. She moves on to 10 of 10 balls, Janet. Tia Graham bowls that one nice and straight, and Anuradha only managing to defend that one into the offside. As Tara Britton closes in on that ball, making sure there's no single to be taken.
Yeah, she's such a good fielder, Tara Britton. She's stopped so many already, and always lively, always watching carefully, watches the bat movement, try to predict where the ball is going.
Tia Graham bowls this one short and outside off. I've noticed that Anuradha is really strong with her shot square of the wicket. A couple of very good cut shots and a couple of good pull shots already in this game, but does not manage to find the gap on this occasion. Another shot ball cut away into the offside, but Marie is up for the task, blocking that away quite nicely in the field. Tia Graham will be looking to strike here. There was more pace on that one, but that was angled down the leg side, and Anuradha clips that one quite nicely, going down on her knee, and that'll be another boundary for the German team.
What a shot. Just picking up the length so well, getting down on the one knee and getting it straight out of the middle. Beautiful work there from Anuradha.
You can see that Tia put a little bit more into that ball, but that was a trade-off. But the radar lost direction a bit, angling that one down the leg side, and Anuradha happy to put that away for 4 runs. That's another full toss. We've seen a few of that in these first 10 overs or so. She's running hard there on Anuradha, but there will be only 2 runs there to be taken. That will be the end of the over. At the end of 11, we have Germany on 71 for the loss of 2 wickets.
Yeah, they're looking very settled, this pair. Got their eyes in now, and I think we might see Marie Violot come back on. Had a great chat with her at the start of play, just before the game started. Weren't able to get all of it across to you, but just such energy. Loves her cricket. Started playing only a year ago, and here she is in the Blues.
Isn't it
bowling
exceptional?
for her country. What a sensational story, and got into it through school and just telling us about how much the game is growing in her region.
Floated across there. Janet pulls that one down to deep square leg for a single. In fact, a few of these French players representing their country have only been playing cricket for the last 5 or 6 months. Oh, this one's cut away in the air, but between the 2 fielders in the offside. And they'll be able to scamper across for a single. So it's an emerging sport in most of these European countries here. And you can see that the processes put in place are being effective, trying to attract attention across all age groups. As Marie comes in and flights this one once again. Janet goes down on her knees, sweeps this one past the fielder at short square leg, and they'll be just about quick enough to come back for the second run there.
Fantastic running, but also just seeing the extremely skilled footwork of Janet Ronald here. She went to come forward, and then she just saw it, got down on one knee, and swept a textbook sweep shot, that one.
You can also see how closely she's watching the ball there, following the trajectory. This one shot and outside of off. Janet waits beautifully for it before she cuts it away to the sweeper cover. That'll be only a single.
Yeah, and getting a lot of good feedback about the interviews, Uji. It was great talking to those ladies, and we will be looking to get some more insights from both camps as this series progresses.
That'll be a wide ball there from Murray. Indeed, isn't it exceptional to bring these stories out and share it with these broad audiences who are so happy to tune into cricket in Europe. That one's bowled short and down the leg side, and Anuradha pulls that one away. And they're coming back for a second. A better throw could have had her shot of the crease there. But
Top class running this, Uji, and it's something that we didn't really see from France yesterday. They will want to be working on this, and Germany are showing them exactly how to do it. Run that first one as hard as you can and give yourself the chance for the second.
Another ball floated across there. Anuradha swipes that one down to mid-on, and they'll be only able to get a single there. And that will be the end of the 12th over, as the score ticks along to 80 for the loss of 2 wickets. And I think this here is what one might call a wonderful launching pad, Joe.
Yeah, they're right on track for that 120 plus target, which we know will be a formidable one for France. But it's just great to see the German batting team get the chance to, giving themselves the chance to bat out the full 20 overs and show us all what they've got. It's such a privilege to be part of this at ECN. Of course, this international T20 fixture in Germany, the first ever. Who ever would have thought it?
Thea Graham runs in, bowls this one at a nice line and length. That was butted down to the leg side, and Poppy McGowan happy to clean up. This is an important juncture of the game, and a tidy over from Thea Graham can help the French pull back some momentum. That one's a full toss outside of off. Anuradha hits that one uppishly in the air, but it lands safely. That will be a single.
Yeah, she had high hopes for that one, Marie Vialot. She was running to catch it and would have taken a superhuman effort.
This one's shot and outside off, cut away into the offside. They'll be looking to run back for a second here. And they'll make it back quite safely in the end. Janet's playing so lately and beautifully, waiting for the ball to come to her, meeting it right underneath her eyes. She looks so busy at the crease, Janet. Another shot ball. This one's pulled beautifully, but straight to the fielder in the deep. She'll pick it up on the first bounce and hurl it back to the bowler, and this will be another single for Janet, who's looking really dangerous now. She moves on to 17 from 15 balls.
Yeah, just some comments in the chat. Where is that self-driving mower? Well, we're in Germany. I can guarantee there's a mower somewhere. I need to find it for the next series.
And this one will trickle down past the fielder at shot fine leg. They'll get across for another single. To see how effectively the German team has been taking these singles, making sure that the scoreboard's constantly ticking, staying in the game. Really good cricket from Germany. Another full toss. This one's hit way above the fielder in the deep, and that will be another boundary for Janet Reynolds. She's looking really dangerous at this point.
Yeah,
And
Janet Reynolds flying away to 21 now after 16 balls. And Anuradha, the skipper, just doing a really solid job. She's on 24 of 29.
At the end.
Playing the anchor role while Janet, she didn't get much of a look at it yesterday. Spent a lot of time at the non-striker's end. And I think this morning she's come out with a bit of fire in the belly and wants to put a big score on the board for her team. And that's what they're looking like they're going to do.
At the end of 13 overs, Germany has now moved to 89 for the loss of 2 wickets. As we see Ali Brodin being brought back into the attack. They'll certainly be looking for some wickets here, the French. Or this target could go to dizzy heights very soon.
Yeah, but Brodin coming in from the residential end now. She's been bowling exclusively from the industrial end. And just changing sides now. We've seen a bit more bounce from this end.
Anuradha hangs back in her crease and cuts that one past the fielder. That was Thea Graham there, who dived across to try and stop that one, but just moved far enough away from Thea for them to sneak another single. And Janet Reynolds is back on strike. She's an exciting player to watch. Waits for that one to bounce and go past through to the keeper. You don't see a lot of that happening in the T20 games, but there's always more time than one can seem to perceive in this format. This one's clipped nicely to the fielder at short square leg. Anuradha is sent back, and that'll be an easy run out for the French team. Just when things were starting to get away from the French, they managed to pick another wicket out of nowhere. Anuradha there sent back. This was clipped straight to the fielder at short square leg. There probably wasn't a single there, but some miscommunication leading to this run out. Anuradha isn't too happy, but a run out isn't one of the nicer ways to get out in this game, understandably, as we see.
And wasn't that the opportunity that they were looking for, the French? That we've seen the Germans running so well, especially that pair. They were just turning singles into doubles and turning dot balls into singles. And that time, Anuradha just a little bit too eager and the communication breaking down, and the French took their chance, and that's what they need to do to stay in this game, take their chances. A new batter coming out now that always opens the door for something else to happen. When you're looking at your score in cricket, if you want to know if you're doing well, we always say add another 2 wickets to that score, and that will tell you how you're doing. So if Germany was 90 for 5, for instance now, then it's not looking quite as stable as what they were a little bit earlier. So very important wicket there for the French.
So Brodin bowls this one short and outside off once again. Janet Reynolds happy to pull that one, and they get across for another single. It's Stephanie von Meyer who's made her way to the middle now at the fall of the 3rd wicket. We haven't seen a lot of her at the crease over the course of the series so far, but here's an opportunity for Stephanie to make a mark.
The Stephanator, her friends are calling her. Or at least Chandana Vasanth on YouTube chat. The Stephanator.
Lots of support here for both teams, both on the field and from outside of it. Ali Brodin comes in again. That one's floated nicely outside of off. And Stephanie keeps this one out. Pulling things back slowly but surely here, the French.
Yeah, von Meyer, we saw her bowling a little bit yesterday. Comes from Crawley, England originally. She'd be pinching herself to be here playing for Germany.
That one was short and outside of off. Stephanie trying to cut that one across into the offside, but failing to connect. That will wrap up this over. And Germany moves to 91 at the end of 3 overs. 14 overs. This is not nicely poised now for a final flourish from this German batting juggernaut. Can the feisty Janet Reynolds score a 50 here? I think there's just about enough time left in this innings for Janet to get across that half century. We see Cindy Vitesche being brought back into the attack, and they're running hard here. Janet is so quick between the wickets, they'll manage to scamper across for a second. Excellent running from the Germans here.
Yeah, it really shows her experience when she's out there in the middle, Janet. Played a lot of cricket all over the world and just knows that if you run that first one hard, you give yourself such a chance to double the score for every hit. 2 is way better than 1, so they all count, and she is certainly making them count at the moment.
Cindy Britash loses her line on that occasion, bowls this one on the leg side, and just about enough momentum for the ball to go across. This will be another boundary for Janet Reynolds, who's really finding her flair at the moment. You can see the urgency among the French fielders here and amongst the team. You can see that Emmanuelle Relevé, the captain, brought on one of her trump cards, Cindy, to try and find that breakthrough that they're so looking for, to try and get into the middle and lower order of this German batting lineup. But Janet's looking really good at this moment, finding the boundary at will, putting these bad balls away effectively. Cindy bowls this one a little wider off of off stump, and Janet is really happy to wait for that bad ball. And that's effective cricket, if you ask me, Joe.
Yep, it's the way to play. If you just tick it along when you can and deposit the bad balls, then you will go a long way, and that's what the Germans are looking to do.
This one short and outside of off stump. Janet's quite happy to strike that one into the offside for a single. We see a direct hit from the deep, much to the amusement of the close-in fielders.
Yeah, and that will bring Frohnmeier onto bat. She is also a super experienced cricketer. She's been with the German squad since the inauguration, since 2009. So she's been around a long time. She's a core integral member. I believe she was also the captain at one stage. the early captains, so Janet will be pleased to have some experience out there with her to consolidate on this terrific performance they've put on so far.
This one didn't bounce so much outside of off. This was probably the first ball that we've seen today that's kept low after pitching. But well kept there by the keeper. Staying down low to gather that one cleanly. It's one of the effective hallmarks of a good wicketkeeper. Making sure you stay low. Cindy bowls this one a little fuller, inviting that drive. Stephanie losing her shape a little bit there, failing to connect and nearly getting out across her crease, but she's still around.
Yeah, good ball. Just didn't quite get the foot down to the pitch of it and lifted her head a little bit, so played all around it. But a great response from Brettache has made it difficult for the keeper. It's super difficult with those ones because you're so excited for a stumping, and of course, one of the most important things is that you do not take the ball in front of the stumps because that, of course, makes it illegitimate. So a difficult chance there.
It's that uncomfortable steep bounce once again on display. Striking the good length, but there's an incredible amount of steep bounce from the good length on this pitch.
So it's going to be Brodin from the residential end. Bowling to Ronalds, who's on 29. He's got 5 overs to get to that 50. And it's going to help when they're bowling short like that, and she has hoisted it away to mid-wicket. It pulls up though, and is collected by Jennifer King. So just the 2 more runs, but again, turning 1s into 2s. It's the way to go about it, and the French will be looking to learn from what is being put on display here by Germany. Brodin in. That one is full and wide and illegitimate. It's a wide.
A lot of live followers here who are chiming in, supporting both teams. Come on, Eagles is a cry from Asmita Koldi, who's tuning in.
And again, just Brodin, losing her radar. That's better though, but still short and pulled away. What a magnificent shot by Janet Ronalds. It's not going to go to the boundary though, which shouldn't surprise you if you've been watching it for the last day and a bit. But she does manage to pick up 2 more to her total. So they've gone past the 100 here. We haven't seen it yet in this tournament, but Germany putting on 104 already.
I'm gonna call it first, Joe. I sense a well-earned half-century from Janet Ronalds here today.
Yeah, she's looking pretty unstoppable at the moment, Uji, as she faces Brodin. That's short and wide, and it bounces twice, so it's a no ball, and they also take the run, and that will give Frohnmayer the chance for a free hit. Yeah, you can't bowl and allow it to bounce twice, as Mark Tubby Taylor, the former Australian captain, once proved, as too did the former Australian Prime Minister, John Howard. You can't roll it along the deck.
Wasn't he an effective slip fielder, Tubby Taylor?
He sure was. As that one's short, it's been hit up in the air, and I just get a feeling that Poppy McGowan, she didn't quite attack it the way she should have. I think that might have been a chance. And, of course, the reason she didn't is because it was a free hit. So, good, smart cricket in the end. Shows she's paying more attention. It's Brodin in. And that one's been driven along the ground and well stopped there by Violo. Great fielding there at cover. And that just gets her team up and about. And doesn't matter what you do to them, this French unit, they are such a united force in the field. They're just encouraging each other, loving their cricket. As that one is veering down leg, might have caught a little bit of pad. They run through for the single, and we'll just look at the umpire here. Yes, leg buys.
We have
that is the end of the over by the looks of it. So after 16 overs, Germany, they're on to 108 for 3.
We have Jeremy Ludlow chiming in within our live chat, urging the commentators not to put the jinx on the batter by predicting a half century. But trust me, Jeremy, I think Janet here looks like she can overcome all sorts of jinxes that can be.
She's got a magic wand in her hand,
spread
Jeremy.
across the way here. Absolutely, she does.
Pretache just veering wide, so another sundry, and that is going to do quite a bit of damage for the French here. They have already bowled 16 wides, so if you can imagine another batsman coming in and making 16, well, that's what they've given to them, and that could be the difference, of course. Otherwise, it's been a very admirable performance in the field by France. As this one is fuller, and it's poked up and just beats the outstretched hand of Pretache. And
So
might have been a bit of a bump ball, but yeah, it's just a key ingredient to a good fielding performance.
I reckon the Germans will be eyeing a target up about the 135 mark. They're well set to launch from here and perhaps even get across to 140.
This one's short from Pretache, but not too wide. And Frohnmeier just not getting those feet moving quite yet. She just waves the stick outside off and misses it, goes through to the keeper. So a good dot ball. And this is fuller and straighter and has been hoiked up and over the mid-on. And they run through for 2 more.
That was the first one that Stephanie seemed to have connected well so far in this short innings of hers.
Yeah, it always takes a little bit of time, and of course, what makes it so difficult with the shorter formats, you don't have so much time to get your eye in. But she's taken a few overs now and looks to be playing her shots. As that one's another good ball from Pretache, and Frohnmeier just trickles it to the onside. It's fielded by Marie Violot, and it's a dot ball.
Also notice that this is the last over of Cindy Pretache, who's been probably their most effective bowler in this tournament. That's nicely struck away into the offside by Stephanie Frohnmeier. They'll scamper across for a single.
So, what has Ronald's got here? She's on 35. And that one is hit back. What a catch! What a catch! Unbelievable catch there from Pretache. Wow, she deserved that. She's bowled so well. And there we go. You did it, Uji. As pointed out in the chat, the commentator's curse has been applied. And Janet Ronald's super disappointed because it was there for the hitting, but just kind of beaten with the pace a little bit. Comes off the toe of the bat and just sensational work. Wow.
Unfortunate end there for a really good innings from Janet Ronald. She really looked all set to get that 50.
But look at that work there from Pretache. Just getting down low. Such a difficult catch to take. And you're kind of diving forward and you're getting low. And it just stuck enough in the hands. Popped up a little bit, but she managed to clasp on. And that is such an important wicket. The danger batter is gone. And of course, that will bring Sharanya Sadarangani to the crease. And wow, that is some of the best cricket we've seen from the French.
And kudos to Cindy Pretache to walk away with figures of 2 for 16 off of her 4 overs. Brilliant bowling once again.
Yeah, and that's what we were looking at yesterday, Uji. This series, it's a long one, 5 matches, and there's just going to be improvement upon improvement upon improvement. And that's just what we're seeing, the French keeping their heads up and getting results. So, Violot has come on to bowl. That one does not stay low, but it comes down and is defended away by Frohnmeier, who's now the the batsman who's in, you might say. She's on 4 of 10 deliveries.
Rome was definitely not built in a day, and we see the French improving through the course of the series.
But that has been played beautifully by Fronmeyer. One of the shots of the series. Just that ball really lifted up and came down right in the perfect spot. She turned it into a half volley and just played it straight over the mid-off's head, and it runs away for 4. Fantastic work from Fronmeyer. She goes to 8.
Excellent stride towards the ball there.
And again, just that flight from Violo. It's not a difficult prospect when you're batting. But that one is pushed to the onside, and they take the single, so that will bring Sadarangani onto strike. Sharanya. Of course, Sadarangani, she was the first woman to ever play in an ECN event. Very experienced cricketer. As she treats that one with good respect from Violo. It pops up, it pops down, it twists away a little bit, and she just decides to let it go. And of course, she's been the wicketkeeper for Germany before, not in this series though. Of course, that is Kartika, been keeping very well. And that one, just that bounce getting her, is one of the beautiful prospects of the way that the French have been bowling. Just real flight and drift, and if you can get it in the right spot, it will pop up. And Sadarangani just unable to do much with that. This time she's gotten down on one knee and swept it away. It was a pretty dangerous shot. I feel if she missed that, the LBW shout would have been there, but she manages to hit it square leg, take the single. She will retain the strike. And at the end of 18 overs, Germany, well, they're 119 for 4.
So that will be the last of Marie's flighting deliveries for the scope of this match. She ends up with figures of none for 31, or 32, I beg your pardon, at the end of her 4 overs. She went for a few today, but it's always nice to see bowlers being brave and flighting the ball, trying to dangle the carrot and invite that false stroke from the batters. Vinny Sandhu here chiming in, saying hello. He's been enjoying the action.
Hello, Vinny. Always lovely to hear from you, especially in the written form. As that one is a good delivery from Tia Graham. She's come back on and puts it in a nice spot. Yeah, Vinny Sandhu, I was working with him in Hungary last week for the series there. It was a great series, five teams. We didn't know who was going to make it until the very last day into the finals. So one is short and wide, and Sadarangani just swipes across the face of it. It deceives her.
They'll be looking to get a move on from here, the German team. With just under a couple of overs to go, you can expect to find a little more urgency in the batting.
Yeah, it's always what wickets do, isn't it? This one's short and outside off and cut like a bullet through point, but there is a bit of protection out there. And great work by Jennifer King in the outfield, keeping it just a single. So Fronmeyer comes back on to bat. And just Vinny's in the chat, and he's just being told, Vinny, you've been forsaken for us. Well, for the French and the German women, of course. But as that one drifts down leg, it beats everyone, and it runs down behind the keeper, and they take a single. Yeah, Vinny and Rico, they're in Bulgaria at the moment. As ECM, we're putting on 3 different series at the moment. Yesterday we had Belgium and Malta. We had, of course, Germany and France. And over there in Bulgaria, they've got that series happening. So it is all going on. And after Bulgaria, they go to Romania and then to Sweden for 2 weeks. So more cricket than you can poke a stick at, folks.
Tia Graham bowls this one a little wider off of that off stump, and this one will be called a wide. Sadarangani will be looking to get a move on here.
Yeah, she's struggling a little bit just to deal with that shorter bouncing ball. It's a bit fuller from Tia Graham, and nice work by Sadarangani getting you onto the back foot, but she cannot beat Marie Violo there. And it's a dot ball.
Yeah, it does take a while to get your iron on this wicket.
Yeah, it's all about the footwork, I feel, with this wicket. It can just bounce so much unexpectedly. Graham in. And that one just pops right up and treated with respect. Yeah, this is fantastic by the French. This is what we call great death bowling. And you can see there.
That was an excellent last over from Tia Graham, just going for a few runs, wrapping up her spell with figures of none for 25 and 4.
And don't forget, folks, if you want to know all the information about those tours going on, go to our website, europeancricket.com. There is so much information. We've already put on over 500 matches this year and aiming for well over 1,000 before the year's out. And you can get it all here on the ECN YouTube channel. And, of course, Fan Code in India, with a big thanks to our sponsors, Biostrath and Dream 11, of course. Wouldn't be here without them. And it's going to be Poppy McGowan coming in to bowl. And Casey Edge, great bowling, takes the edge. And in this form, you don't generally have a slip in. But Meyer, well, if there'd been a slip there, she would have been in trouble. But as it is, she gets the single. She moves to 10 off 14. And it's Sadarangani. And I think Poppy McGowan will be happy to have a go at Sadarangani here. She's been bowling fantastically so far. Oh, it's Sadarangani. Well, she's starting to try and play her shots, but again, very good work in the field, keeping it to just the single.
With 4 balls to go, I wonder whether the German team can get across that 130 mark. They'll be certainly keen on doing that.
He comes down the pitch there, pops it up. There might be a chance, but no. Very, very difficult chance in the field there. And just good enough to keep it to the single. So Meyer, she moves to 11, and Sadarangani is back on strike. And that's short again, and pulled from the onside to the off. It's running away. It's running away. Is the extra fielder going to stop it? No, it's not. She must have cut a track with the lawnmower. She came out to bat there because that one just kept rolling over the boundary. It's a 4.
That was splendidly struck there from Sharu. Sadarangani waited for the ball, pulled across, and that had enough momentum to travel across the boundary there.
And a big hello, of course, to Michael Daub as well. He's in the chat as McGowan comes in, and that beats Sadarangani. All ends up, hits her on the back pad. They come through for the run. It's a chance if they can get it in there quick enough. And just that throw back in. Just a little bit too lofted. Needed to be flatter and harder.
A shout out to Michel Daub indeed. We go back a long way. He was pretty instrumental in setting up the scene for cricket in Göttingen.
As McGowan comes in, and that is a great shot. It's been hit over there to the bowler. It is going to pull up before the boundary as Brodin collects. Yep, Michael Daub, and of course I had the great pleasure of working with his daughter and seeing his son bat in Hungary last week. It's the end of the 20th over, so the innings is over, and they took 2 runs off that one, so it's 132 the Germans have put on. 132, that is going to be a difficult ask for the French, but they took some really crucial wickets there and would have given them a lot of confidence.
I'm enjoying seeing this camaraderie between the players on the field as they walk off at the end of this first innings. I think the Germans will be relatively happy with where they find themselves midway through this game. 132 runs is far more than what the French managed to score in the last couple of games yesterday. And this was...
it's a mental game, cricket. You can see there the mentality of the French team. Super unified. And let's just have a look at some of the highlights of the innings we just saw. So it was Violo. We heard from her before the match. She came in and lofted them up, and some of them were hit straight back down, of course. It was a difficult top order to get into. But when they did, it was with fantastic catches like that one from Tara Britton. She's been sensational in the field. Christina Goff came off. She got a few glares there from Brett Taché. but then she managed to put a few away herself. Some wonderful hitting, the first 6 of this series, and she loved that, didn't she?
Anuradha, the captain there, batting beautifully as well, and then she gave a few chances that weren't taken, and she tried to make the most of it. What was instrumental in this German innings was how effectively they ran between the wickets until that run out there. But Janet Reynolds kept rolling along, finding the boundary at will, putting these bad balls away effectively. In the outfield, not proving to be the dampener that it was yesterday. Anuradha, of course, was run out. Some miscommunication out there in the middle. Stephanie von Meyer came out there and took a little while to settle in before she started finding the middle of the bat as well.
Yeah, and then it was this catch by Bretta Shea. She got rid of the danger batter. Of course, the commentator's curse put on there by Uji, and it finally came to effect. She was out in the 30s. And then Sadarangani came in. She took a while to get going, but managed to hit a few there, including that wonderful four down to the corner of the field. And then Poppy McGowan getting that another chance. She really, really loves to bowl, loves her cricket. And of course, there was another run-out chance, just missed. So a few of the 1%ers, a few of the half chances going down for the French. But all in all, even though this is a very formidable score that the Germans have put on, I'd say the French will be up and about. Don't you think, Uji?
Absolutely, Joe. I think they'll be really keen on trying to put up a stiffer fight in this game. I, for some reason, believe that the French will also approach this innings far better than they did their previous two. Seeing that they have to go after the bowling this time might just give them this edge to get out of their crease, use their feet a little bit more. Excellent batting here from the German women. We see that Janet Reynolds scored 35 of 31. She's very instrumental in that big target.
Yeah, and in terms of the bowling, well, it was really Cindy Bretta-Shea. She was going at an economy of only 4 runs and picked up those 2 wickets. Wonderful work. And Poppy McGowan, she only got the 1 wicket, but she was just putting it in great spots. And what the French will be looking at with this is, you know what we gave away were those sundries. Just bowled too many wides, and that is going to make the task even more difficult for them.
So that's what the French have in front of them. 133 runs to get and 120 balls. It sounds easy, but, well, this won't be all that fair a chase up against an equally difficult German bowling lineup. But, well, we can see that Anuradha, Christina and Janet were really effective in this German batting innings. Managed to get them across to 132, only with the loss of 4 wickets.
So that's the story, folks. That's where we sit with this one and only match we've got today between these two teams. Germany put on 132. Well, the French, they're going to have to chase 133 if they are to take their first victory of this series. And I'll tell you what, we'll have all that action for you after a short break. Ciao for now. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at the wonderful National High Performance Sporting Complex in Krefeld. I'm Joe Wegasani, joined by Udi Gudaraji. How are you, Uji?
Pretty good, Joe, right up till that point where you butchered my name, but I could live with Uji Gadaraju.
Oh, there we go. Sounds good. You haven't even tried my last name yet, so we're all even Stevens. Well, folks, we've had a wonderful day of cricket so far. The Germans putting on a formidable total there, 132 they made. But the French, they managed to get a little bit of an indent into the German batting lineup, taking those 4 wickets, 3 of them via the work of their bowlers and some great catching in the field. And then, of course, a wonderful run out with that miscommunication between the batters, who up until then, they were going very well. And it's going to be up to the French women to see what they can do with the Willow.
Yeah, I think it's all up to Jennifer King and Tara Britton at the top of that order, who've been really good in the last couple of games that they played, but they'll probably try to up their ante a little bit at the start, make use of the power play, try and go over the infield. And we've also seen today that the outfield has been slightly faster than it was yesterday. So I'm looking for some fireworks early on in this power play, Joe.
Yeah, exactly. I think they would have learnt a lot, the French women, from yesterday. A few nerves playing on them and just not quite playing their shots. And when they do get a straight face of the bat to it, really hitting through it, I think we'll see a little bit more of that. But the German women, they will be feeling very confident here that they can wrap this up in relatively short order. What I'm looking for is a good piece of French resistance. Vive la résistance! That's what we want to see. So all the actions are coming up. The fielders are out there. The batsmen are just walking out, or the batters are just walking out to the crease, excuse me. The umpires, well, they're just making sure that their piece is done. The bails are on the stumps. And Jean au Cricket. Lassen wir uns Cricket spielen. Let's play some cricket.
And the French batters who are walking out are Tara Britton, as we've come to expect and see and enjoy. And with her, we see that it's going to be Ali Brodin.
Yeah, Brodin, she had a trundle with the ball, of course, and now she's got a job to do with the bat.
It's a really steep job, this one, and they'll try to get across and out of their way with facing Emma here. Emma Bogner has been really effective with picking wickets, but she hasn't managed to do that so far in this tournament.
Yeah, Emma Bogner, the 16-year-old, loves her cricket. We saw the interview just before the match started, and of course the counterpart, the youngest player on the French team, Marie Violot, as well. She was having a chat with us. Just so much enthusiasm for this game among these countries, and there's a real spirit down here at Krefeld as the first ball is about to be delivered by Bogner. It is a little bit short and has been tapped away by Tara Britton, who was on strike there. And already you can see the busyness on the pitch by the French batters. They ran that single through, whereas yesterday I think we were seeing that those runs were not being taken. So already a bit of improvement.
You got that spot on there, Joe. I think Sabine Baron, or apologies, that was Ali Brodin, who spotted that opportunity and haired across between the wickets to complete that single safely.
And it's Brodin facing Bogner now. That's a good ball from Bogner, and Brodin treats it with due respect. Tapping into the offside. That's a dot ball.
Emma Bogner is one of the highest wicket takers for the German team.
And this one's down leg side. It's been pulled away. A great shot from Brodin. That has been pulled. It is not going to make the rope, but they have been running super hard and come through for the second. A really fantastic positive start. You can just feel it already, can't you, Uji, that these teams are up and about. And of course, we have some spectators here, and that's just so wonderful after the year and a bit that we've had people coming down to this complex in Krefeld. Bogner in now, and that's been wrapped on the pads. They asked for the LBW, and the umpire says, nope, you're going to have to bowl that again.
That may have pitched outside of leg.
Yeah,
it was probably drifting down the leg as well.
Yeah, very difficult. Right-hander bowling to the left-hander. to hit it on the pads without pitching the ball outside the line of leg stump. And this time the ball just had a good length, popping up and pulled in. Well, she got that first shot away.
There's some infectious energy here in the atmosphere. And already more intent being shown from the French opening batters today.
So Alice Brodin, she gets her foot to the ball there and hits through the line, but cannot do much more than get off the toe of the bat. So after 1 over, France, well, they're on 3-0.
Emma Wagner slips in another very tidy over there.
Yeah, what a great bowler for a 16-year-old as well to be playing here for her country. And if you see that interview, you'll see she speaks with a very good English accent. She has grown up mainly in Germany, but lived a little while in England.
And there are plenty of these stories up here amongst all of these players, and we'll try and bring these out to you in some shape, way, or form as we go through towards the fag end of the series we have.
So it's going to be Anna Healy. She missed out with the bat today. And now getting the chance with the ball. And yeah, it's being noticed on the chat. The French women, they have shown vast improvement today. And I've got a feeling we're in for a fight here, Uji. So one short. And is met with the full face of the bat.
Definitely, Joe. I can observe this palpable conviction in the stroke making that we can see so far.
Yeah, that's right. And just little things like not playing across the line all the time, playing it straight, what we just saw from Tara Britton there. And that is a good strike as well as a fuller ball. She got her foot to it and hit through the line once again. It only goes to the field at that point though, and there is no run.
These two batters have also had a fair chance to get used to this pitch here. They spent quite a bit of time at the crease yesterday. They should be in good stead to get going right away.
That's short and pulled away, and it looked like it was going to beat the fielder there. It was Stephanie Frohnmeyer, but she did it well enough to get down low, stop it with any part of the body she could, and have it back in. They did take the single though, and so that will bring Alice Brodin back on strike, the left-hander.
Kartika Vijayaraghavan there, keeping wicket. She's been doing a great job.
And that one's been hit up in the air. It's a catch. What a catch by Anna Healy. Yes, caught the top edge. It was short and it was there for pulling, but just timed not quite right. Catching the top edge, and Anna Healy, she just throws that right hand up, and what a snaffle.
There's a bit of a trend here with the German fielders plucking these balls out with a single hand. That's the third one we've seen so far in this series, and all three of them have been really good. There's an important wicket there, that of Ali Brodin, who's probably one of their bigger hitters. She certainly didn't have mixed intentions there. Wanted to bludgeon that away for a few runs, but only managed to scoop that one back to the bowler.
Yeah, disappointing for Brodin, but if you're going to go out, then go out early and don't waste any deliveries, and that's what she did. And I'll tell you what, even just coming out and playing those first few shots, just showing that intent and giving confidence to her comrades and fellow players that they can go out there and really try to attack this German bowling. And look, if you go out, you go out. But at the end of the day, it's better to go hard at it. And that's what Brodin did, even for the short time she was there. So it is going to be Jennifer King now coming out to face Anna Healy, who is bowling right arm over the wicket. Beautiful form there from Jennifer King. Nice straight bat. Doesn't get a run for it, but just the improvement, it's already evident.
Definitely, Joe. When it comes to bowling, I think a lot of it is about finding your rhythm, and Anna Healy seems to have done that really quickly here.
And that is short and outside off. It's been cut, but straight to the fielder at point. And at the end of that, the second over, will France, they're on 4 for 1.
Early wicket there for the Germans, begging things back a little bit for the French again. But I think Jennifer here, alongside Tara Britton, have to show some intent and try and score some runs quickly within the power play.
Yeah, they know they're on the back foot, but at the end of the day, it'll be better if they go for their shots and go out and take lessons from it than if they just... as this one come in, it's been driven straight back to the bowler, who's Emma Bugner. Then if they do what they did yesterday, which is kind of succumbing to the nerves a little bit and not taking those singles, we've already seen that good running between the wickets today so far, even only 2 overs in. And that has beaten the fielder there at mid-wicket. It's been slapped away.
That's certainly true, Joe. So I think there are definitely lessons to be learned over here for the French. But these lessons can be learned in their attempt to go for the win, get across the line, as opposed to trying to spend more time at the crease and resigning themselves to the fact that this here is a steep target.
Yeah, exactly right, Uji. As Bugner comes in. And that's full, and it's been driven through covers. It's beaten the fielders, has found the gap. A lovely shot. That is just good form, and running through for the second. Excellent, excellent work by Tara Britton there. Jennifer King, she was hesitant to go for the second, but Tara Britton taking command of the situation, and they run it through for 2. So again, exactly what they need to be doing.
She stood up there, straight there, getting her eyes over the ball, meeting it with disdain.
Short outside off. And probably not the time to play a straight bat at that from Jennifer King.
Allez les Bleus!
Allez
Or
les
some
Bleus.
shouts
Yeah.
coming in from the chat here. Would the Golden Eagles have other plans?
And once again, that's just veering. Well, it's first wide so far. So Emma Bugner, she's been on line so far, but that one just a little bit too wide and called as such from the umpire. And that time is much better from Bugner. So we're getting some conflicting reports here because, of course, we were pronouncing Cindy Breteche as Cindy Breteche, and then we got told it's Cindy Breteche. We don't have an accent on our sheet as Bugner comes in and he's wide down leg side.
I also spoke to Cindy yesterday, Joe, and I think she herself said that it's pronounced as Breteche as opposed to what we're hearing here in the chat.
So there we go, Harley Quinn, 220. Looks like we've got the information. So Breteche it is. As that one is right on line from Bugner. A great delivery. And Jennifer King prods it down. So that's the end of the third over. Really tight stuff from Germany so far. And even though they're showing that intent, after 3 overs, French women, well, they're on 9 for 1.
Emma Bugner continues to be really tidy, in search of her first wicket in this series. She said she'd be keeping her eyes wide open for any catches that might come her way. She's a sprightly young woman.
This one is short and outside off, and it's hit over the infield. That's a great shot, and it's running down. They've got to run hard here. It's not going to go to the boundary, but they might be able to pick up 3 if they really chance the arm. But at the end of the day, they decided it's better to be safe than sorry, and they take the 2 runs.
Excellent throw there from Paris van den Poel in the deep, preventing that 3rd run.
So short from Healy. It's a it's a chance. It was a great effort. Great effort there at the short 3rd woman, and got her hands to it.
That was Susanna.
She was horizontal for a while there, and got her hands to it. Looked to be right in the midst, but then just popping out, and they run through for a single.
That was Susanna McAnamama Brereton there. Now that's one hell of a tongue twister, but we'll definitely get it right.
This one's short again, and The attempted cut was there, but maybe just angling in a little bit and staying a little bit lower than expected. So another dot ball. Jennifer King though, she's looking lively. She wants to hit it. And just once again, that one, lucky not to be called a wide, I think, but the umpires have been right on it in this series.
Yeah, excellent decision making under pressure. It's not an easy job here being an umpire.
Toughest job in cricket. Healy in. One shot again. This time it's been slapped away and just kind of hitting a bit too down on it and not quite
up and over.
Yeah, up and over or a little bit more horizontally. So just allowing this very thick, long grass to stop it. It's better from Healy and a really nice straight bat. And that's the difference that we're seeing today already. So after 4 overs, France, they're on 12 for 1. And the big difference we're seeing, Uji, is that yesterday there was a lot of hitting across the line, a lot of cross bat swiping, and you can see they've been working on it, France, and they're really hitting straight.
They definitely are, Joe. What we'd also probably like to see is some more intent within this power play, though. I think they're picking up these learnings one at a time, checking boxes off, and I'd like to see some more intent at the top of the order.
And that one's full. And a bit of an opportunity there, but at the end of the day, Tara Britton just hits it to mid-on. We're getting a little bit of stick for the way we're pronouncing names here. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, if you can pronounce my name, Wegecsany, without any faults, then I will eat my words.
Well, that's pretty easy, Joe,
that
isn't
one
it?
is hit up.
Wegecsany.
Yeah, he's got it. There we go, Uji. He's been practicing overnight.
Don't give them wrong ideas there, Joe.
And this one is really good line of length from Wagner, which is definitely pronounced Wagner, by the way. We got into that with her. It's not Italian. And just tapped to the offside for a dot. And Britain facing in that one. It was well played to keep it down. I think she just kind of adjusted her shot halfway through it.
That's 4 dot balls in a row, and the tension builds here in the middle. This is Krefeld, Germany, and we're at the National Performance Center, where things are heating up in this contest.
And from Wagner to fuller ball, and Tara Britton has done well to keep that one out. It's another dot. Yeah, another comment. Someone saw the mechanical robot lawnmower behind us, but when they were changing this complex from a football pitch to a cricket pitch, I'll continue this after this delivery from Wagner, the second last. It's been driven along the ground to the person to cover, so that's the end of the over. And it's 12 for 1. They converted this pitch from a football pitch to a cricket pitch. And when they did that, they had to take out one of the light posts. And when they did that, they had to disconnect the wires that allow the mechanical robot mower to actually do the job. So it's being done by hand at the moment. So even the best engineering skills that Uji here has couldn't fix it. It's a computer system, Uji. I'm sure you could sort it out if you had time. But alas, we've got a job to do, and that is watching some fine cricket here between Germany and France. As Healy comes in, and that is hit very well and very good running. Great running. Yeah, Tara Britton, she's seen the opportunities there. They've seen all the singles that Germany were taking and just, even though that went to the fielder behind square leg, she was already backing up and ran right through.
Indeed, so Anna Healy will be looking to pick another wicket here. She already got that one. The first wicket was a nice cotton ball chance that she held on to. Tara Britton here on strike. This one's ball shot, but straight back towards Tara Britton. is happy to duck that one down at her feet. Anna Healy is a thoughtful bowler. She's also been presenting the seam to good effect in this series. She does that once again, but Tara Britton here gets that on the full, sweeps that across the leg side, but they'll run back for a second.
Great shot though. Didn't quite make the boundary, which is not surprising as we've seen so far, but really getting down low and keeping an eye on it, her head still, and managing to beat the field and pick up 2 runs.
Yeah, that nice little story from Joe telling us why exactly this grass is as thick as it is. Doesn't make the batters feel any better though.
Once again.
This one shot from Anna Healy and pulled away towards short square leg. They'll manage to scamper across for a single. So as saying, Anna Healy has been quite effective in extracting some swing and seam movement through these last 3 games that she's bowling in. This one's just fended onto the offside, and that'll be another dot ball. With 1 ball to go in this first power play, I must say that I would have been happy to see a little bit more intent from this French top order. This one shot and outside of off stump. She cuts that one away. Sharp fielding there from Paris, but that can't prevent the single from being taken. And that'll be the end of the power play. The end of 6 overs. France find themselves on 17 for the loss of a single wicket. The Germans have done a splendid job of stifling and squeezing the scoring rate, not letting the French get away at all. As we see a bowling change here from the Germans, it will be Stephanie Frohnmayer who will be brought into the attack.
Yeah, they have managed to strangle them a little bit, Uchi, but I've got to say there's something different about the French side today, and we're seeing it on display. And if they can just stay in these 2, the ball just gets bigger in your eyes. You see it better. You start moving your feet more. And they just need to really just stay out there at this stage and not worry about the run rate, not worry about the total. Just bat through the overs and see where it gets them.
It's Stephanie here now. She bowls this one short and outside of off. Tara Britton cuts this one away and they'll get a single for that one.
Yeah.
Apologies, that was Jennifer King. Stephanie will be looking to get into a good rhythm here. She does have the knack of bowling some quick balls. I saw her loosen up before the start of play. She was certainly capable of letting the ball zip through. Nicely helped along onto the leg side for a single there.
Yeah, nice paddle shot there, just staying nice and straight, swiveling around, keeping the balance, and just guiding it along its way.
This brings Jennifer King back on strike, and they've both been scoring at well below the par strike rate so far, but they probably want to change that now, as Stephanie loses her mark while she runs up to bowl her next ball. She'll have to go back again and do that. This one shot. Plenty of time for Jennifer King to rock back and pull that away through across the square leg boundary. Beautiful batting from Jennifer King. A much needed boundary as well, I must say. This is exactly what the doctor ordered if you're a French cricket team. And if you're the French fan who's following in and tuning into this exciting series. Yet another shot ball from Stephanie Meyer. And much the same treatment dealt out by Jennifer King once again. So that's back-to-back boundaries. And perhaps for the first occasion during this 5-match T20 series between Germany and France, we've seen consecutive boundaries here.
Yeah, vive la France, vive la résistance. Here we go. That is a fantastic couple of shots from Jennifer King. Really seeing the ball nicely now. Too short from Kronmeier. And there is such great support from the French viewers and listeners we've got on the chat. Lots and lots of active chat going on there.
Another shot ball, but outside of off stump this time, and Jennifer King just cuts that across to the fielder.
And I would say, Uji, this is the first time we've really seen momentum really swinging towards France. It's not a big swing, but Frohnmeier just bowling a little bit too short in response.
And this one's way down the leg side, and that was a tough one to gather for Kartika. And that'll go on to be 2 wides. As indicated by the umpire now. So yeah, Stephanie losing her radar there a little bit, not finding the right line and length here, and she's going for a few runs. Can Tara Britton now capitalize on this last ball from Stephanie? She fends this one into the offside, and that'll be a dot ball to wrap this first over from Stephanie Frohnmeier up. And France moves to 29 for the loss of 1 wicket at the end of 7 overs.
Yeah, great over from France. That's their best batting over yet in this series. Just getting those that 1 boundary and those 2 boundaries, and it just builds confidence, doesn't it? And like we said earlier, it's often easier to set a total because you don't have the pressure of chasing. But in this situation, in this context, I actually think that for France, they can just let that weight off their shoulders. They've got nothing to lose. They've got everything to gain.
They've got a target painted in red, and they just have to go after it now. They've got nothing to lose, and they seem to be moving along in that direction now, as we see Anuradha, the German skipper, coming in to bowl. She seems to have gotten something in her eye now. There are a few interesting little bugs flying around here. Just got that sorted and out of the way. Bowls that one a little short of good length. Spins that back into the batter. But Jennifer King happy to see that one off. She's been bowling off spin so far in the series, but a very capable medium pacer too is Anuradha. Gives that one some air and bowls it on the full. Jennifer King happy to knock that one into the offside where Charu Sadurangani cleans up. Gave that one even more flight, and this one's driven through the offside. And Perez, who has been exceptional in the outfield, lets that one go on this occasion, and they'll scamper across for a single. What's the need of the hour now, Joe?
The need of the hour, Uji, for the French batters, or for the Germans?
Well, for the Germans, they'll certainly be looking for more wickets here, try and peg the French back far deeper into this abyss that they've been setting up.
Yeah, I would say for France, it's to bat out the 20 to surpass the totals they put on yesterday, 55 and 66. And I don't think wickets they should really worry about too much, just batting with this positive intent. And it's exactly what we're seeing. It's fantastic. Just wonderful, wonderful spirit of cricket going on here.
Anuradha bowls this one a little short, and that was angled down towards the leg side. Tara Britton did well to use her feet, come across and pull that one down to the short square leg, but that will be a dot ball. And that'll bring Anuradha's first over to a close. She's been tidy so far in this tournament.
Yeah, you can just really, really notice the change in the French batting so far. Playing with those straight bats when the ball is a bit fuller. We've just seen some lovely cover drives. We saw another one in that over. It beat the infield. They got the run. And if they can just keep doing that, then they will get themselves to a stage where they can start thinking about this target.
Stephanie runs in again, and she's struggling to find her radar here, but lots of encouragement from the fielders close in. And I actually like seeing this move from the skipper Anuradha, showing faith in the bowler. Sure, she didn't find her radar in the first over and bowled a couple short and got put away, but sticking to her guns. This one shot once again and wide outside of off. This will be another wide. You can probably catch these chants of encouragement from the field. That's exactly what you want as a bowler when you're struggling to find your line and length and your rhythm. You can soak in all the encouragement you can get in times like these. Attempted paddle shot there from Jennifer King. This one another wide, but down the leg side on this occasion. Kartika Vijayaraghavan does a really good job to get some gloves on that one. It's not easy when you're blinded by the batsman as you move down the leg side in an attempt to gather. On this occasion, Stephanie manages to find her radar. This is met with a dead bat.
Yeah, still a bit better, but still bowling a little bit too short for me, Stephanie. She has looked the most threatening when she pitches it up, I feel.
And there you go. Gets that one right. Once again a little short, but Jennifer King on this occasion was unable to put that away. And she found the fielder there in the offside. I think that was Janet Ronalds, who accepts it gleefully, pouches that one. She's as safe as a house as Janet Ronalds on the field.
Yeah, and just goes to show how much we know here in the commentary box. Pitch it up, I said, and she puts another one in short and gets the wicket. So great work by Vollmeyer. She working to a plan that wasn't evident at first, but has become clear, having those fielders up on the square side. So
it's Poppy McGowan who makes her way to the middle, replacing the very effective and dangerous Jennifer King. You can see that this wicket has lifted the spirits of the German fielders. France will be looking to give this one a stiff fight. Still 8 wickets in the hut. There's no reason to keep blocking away. They should certainly intend to put the bad balls away. Try and maximize that. Stephanie finds a better length on this occasion and hit back straight at her.
But lovely shape there from Poppy McGowan with the bat, her elbow right up, bat straight as anything, and that's just something that we did not see yesterday. Poppy, who's also played for Belgium, it so happens. Experienced cricketer.
Defends that one nicely down a short mid-on there.
And a big shout out to Summer Pit Arya there for that nice bit of information. Poppy McGowan played for the Belgian national team as well, and there's a fair bit of history between those two countries, Belgium and France.
Stephanie bowls this one short, but this one's only clubbed back straight at the bowler. She does well to stop that one there, Stephanie. She's certainly beginning to find her line as she goes along into this spell of hers. Can Stephanie strike over here? Well, not with those short balls. She bowls another wide. I agree, Joe, that the French will certainly be looking to score more runs than they did yesterday, but I just wonder whether they have to get their innings started with a mindset that's tuned to trying to win.
Yeah, absolutely, Uchi, but it is building blocks, and that's really what we're going for here. with not only with the French team, who have shown vast improvement already in today's game, but with this series in general. It's about cricket for the now, but also cricket for the future.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Joe. So at the end of 9 overs, it's 34 for 2 for the French women here. And they certainly are on this journey towards trying to qualify for the World Cup. The T20 qualifier tournament is on their radar as well. And
Yep.
there are certainly a few things up at stake here. The German team will be keen on trying to earn a few points out of the series, work their way up the rankings. They're currently positioned at number 25 on the ICC World T20 rankings.
Yeah, and that's the reason we saw them bowling twice yesterday, winning the toss and bowling, which is an unusual move, it's got to be said, especially when it's not a heavily overcast day on a green pitch. But to improve their rankings.
Anuradha here gets into her second over of the spell. This one was nicely guided past the keeper on the leg side.
Yeah, so a bit more information coming in about Poppy McGowan. That name, of course, it sounds Scottish, and it's because it is. Her father is Scottish, mainly living in French-speaking countries, but she played for Melbourne University. So there you go, just so much depth to so many of the characters involved in this series.
Anuradha flights this one beautifully, nearly willing Poppy McGowan there into a false stroke. She's changing her pace well here as Anuradha. Another well-flighted delivery. This one struck powerfully but straight at Christina Goff, who manages to cling on to another fantastic catch from the Germans. Well, this will be the third wicket for the French. That's gone down.
They are just so sharp in the field, the Germans. That was a sensational catch. We'll just watch the replay here as the ball was flighted and hit like a bullet straight at Christina Goff, and she just, no second takes. That was all in one go. She knew exactly what she was doing.
Picking up wickets is a great habit to have. Anuradha definitely is building one of those. She strikes again in the second over of her spell. She's quickly moving up in that tally of the most number of wickets for the German team. Isn't she an effective all-rounder and a wonderful leader?
Yeah, she sure is. Done a great job for her team and her country here, Anuradha. Just like you said, consistently picking up wickets, and it's these kind of moments that will really test the resilience of the French team, but it's about character building, and I think there's no better person to be coming to the crease than the woman who's just straight out there, Tia Graham.
A very sharp catch there from Christina. Once again, painting this contrast between the two teams. We saw the French team earlier on dropping a couple of chances, with sharp catches being clung onto is what can turn games around. Anuradha pitches this one right in front of the stumps, and she's got another scalp here. Remember, she's already gotten a hat-trick before, and that's a wicket followed by another one immediately here for Anuradha. You can see here on the replay that she caught her right in front of the stumps. This ball didn't really bounce much. It was a full one, and there was no doubt in the mind of the umpire or of any of these viewers that this one would go on and strike middle and off.
Yeah, and they are not the only one striking. The commentator's curse strikes again. That was a great ball to her batter who's just walked out to the crease. The feet aren't moving so well, and just caught her there. She's pretty immobile on the crease, and
Well,
that was always going to be out.
adding on to this drama that's unfolding in front of us, we have a hat-trick ball for the first time in this T20 International Series that's coming up.
And I love the good captaincy here. All the fielders have come in. It's like walking into a cauldron that's on fire.
She's already done this once before, Joe. Do you think she can pull this off again?
I would not put it against. I would not put it out of reach. Put it past her.
Yeah, she got 4 and 4 in fact in the series against the Austrians not too long ago, and that there was a world record. in both the men's and the women's game. No one's ever done that before. Can she do this again?
Yeah, the double hat trick. Well, she'll take one hat trick here at the moment.
Oh, she bowls that one beautifully. Dangles the carrot, but the batsman's up to the task. It's the captain, Emmanuel Relivet, who defends that with confidence and conviction and prevents that from turning out to be another hat trick for Anuradha.
Yeah, skipper to skipper. Just again playing with a really nice straight bat there, Relivet. We didn't see that from her yesterday. She would have been disappointed that she could not do a bit more of a job for her team. So after 10 overs, it's 35 for 4. France chasing 133.
Well, we see a lot of live followers here, and there's one that's trying to quiz me here. We have Gaurav Singh Rathore from the MTV Stallions who's chiming in, trying to quiz me on who else I probably know who bowls off spin and leads the team. Trying to get a plug in for himself there is Gaurav.
Oh, Garo. Well, it's a good couple of skills to have, a good skill set. Bowling off spin, being able to pull out the medium paces as well, as we know Anuradha can do.
Yeah, and he's an effective leader as well, much like Anuradha has been throughout her tenure as a captain. She's leading from the front here, once again.
Yep. So Susanna Makananama Brereton. That is a tongue twister. She's coming into the bowl now. We're just practicing her run up.
Yeah, we have a few of those here, don't we?
So I can't wait to hear on the comment chat who is it who's been correcting all our pronunciation. Makananama Brereton. As that one is short and wide and called as such.
There's a lot of chirping on that we can hear from our seats in the comm box.
And fuller ball that time, better from Mac Bray, as I might just start calling her. But driven beautifully by Tara Britton, who's still out there. She came out to open and she's still there. And it's really going to fall on her shoulders now. And again, a fuller ball and dribbles back down the pitch.
She was a little early on that shot, not really waiting for the ball to get to her.
This one full and wide and cut down to the offside for a single. So able to get her away a little bit.
Nice and tidy stuff here from the Germans.
Yeah, Susanna Brereton, we might just go with that. Hopefully no relation to Dermot. Yeah. Divisive Australian footballer, but we'll get back to the cricket. Here she comes. Here comes Brereton, and that's full and just evades the swingy bat.
For a second there, Joe.
There.
For a second there, I thought that one sneaked through.
Yeah, I thought so too. Just managed to evade everything. The batter, the stumps, the keeper. If you just look at the field here of Germany, they know that they're right on top. It's a very aggressive field. All the fielders are in. As that one pops up a little bit and it dribbles down to point. So Emmanuel just taking a little bit of time to get going. And I think it's just about setting some small targets. I think the main thing, batting through the overs, which I think they've certainly got it in them. They managed that yesterday. As he's driven over the field. That's a great shot from Emmanuel Relevé. And he's not going to make the road. Definitely deserves more than the 2 they are going to get.
That was a beautiful shot there. I think one of the better shots we've seen today.
Yeah, just timed really well, wasn't it?
That one really deserved a 4.
And at the end of that over, so France, they're on 40-4. So batting through the overs, I think then also superseding or surpassing the targets, the totals they put on yesterday. They made 55 and 66. And I think that one will be something that they want to push past. It's all about improvement, and certainly they've shown it already today.
They're certainly on their way to doing just that today, Joe. 40 on the board with 9 overs to go.
Just from Jeremy Ludlow on the chat, he's always up for a little bit of an argument. How do I know she's no relation to Dermot? Well, I don't. I said I hope she's not. But here comes Anuradha, and he is bowling to Tara Britton. Sorry for that, Jeremy. Must be a Hawthorn supporter. And that has bowled a great bowling from Anuradha. That she's picked up her 3rd wicket in fine style, and it was just too full to play a cross-bat shot to, and managed to hit over it. And the stumps go clattering down, and another wicket falls. So France, they're on 40-5. And it's backs against the wall time here for the French.
It's that sound that you don't want to hear as a batter, right?
Oh, it's the worst sound in the world, isn't it?
The clatter of the wickets behind you. Another wicket falls. Anuradha, she's really on a roll here. Picks up her 3rd.
Yeah, and a big hello as well. Krishna Persaud. Hello from Orlando, Florida. Fantastic to have listeners and viewers from all around the world, of course, on Fancode in India and our YouTube channel, European Cricket Network. Don't forget, if you want more information about all the wonderful series of cricket that we are putting on, this one in conjunction with the ICC, but of course the ECN series, then go to our website, europeancricket.com, and you can get all the information there.
To contextualize what's unfolding in front of us here, it's the German women's team taking on the French women here in a contest of 5 T20 international games. And we can see that Germany here is trying to claw its way up and get past Hong Kong and the T20 international rankings.
So here comes Dada Balapur, and that is a nice straight bat. That's what you want to see to this kind of tight quality bowling. Just once again showing the full face to the bowler.
So Anuradha
is the wicketkeeper, Kagwe. She's come out to join her skipper, and they have a tall task in front of them. Oh, and Anuradha just beating the bat and the keeper once again. That ball just drifts away and it turns in. She's just such a good bowler.
So it turns out Anuradha is also a biomedical research scientist.
Oh yeah, just a few skills then, hey? And that is once again well played by Maël Kagwe as the end of the 12th over approaches. Has happened, and France, well, a little bit of a back foot job here, but they've made it to 41 for 5 after the 12 overs. And it's really about surviving now. And like I said, getting past the totals they put on yesterday, just showing that steady improvement. And showing the full face of the bat, just as Kagwe was doing in that last over, will take them towards those targets. Here is, it looks of it, it is
it's Susanna once again.
yeah, it's Brereton once again. She's come on to bowl.
Yeah, so Only one rating point separate Hong Kong and Germany on the World T20 rankings.
And that one is outside off and played towards point, and good running as well from the two there. That's what they need to do. And we've seen behind the stumps there, Kartika Vieira-Garvin. She has done a great job as well so far. Not only today, but also yesterday. Really busy keeper, always chatting as well. As that, and just like that. That was a difficult one to stop. It's a no ball. It'll be a free hit. That's the first really loose delivery of that fashion that we've seen. Just way above the head height.
It's also a first beamer, and you can see that the bowler was warned and the captain was informed there. If she bowls another one of those, she won't be allowed to bowl any further in this innings.
So it's a free hit, and it's a big swing and a miss. It was actually a great delivery from Brereton to put that right in the channel that makes it difficult to hit. And Emmanuel, well, she tried to take it from the offside to the onside, and I feel like that was a bit of a wasted opportunity there, especially with the field up. You can hit over it. And she tried to rectify a mistake there, but that one's straying too far wide. And so Brereton, a little bit of a loose over here. And the French, they'll take all the extras they can. So far it's...
So chatting with the coach of the French team, Joe, he was mentioning how...
So that one just beats the bat. And it's a dot ball, so a good response from Brereton. Yeah, he was, what was he saying, Uji?
Yeah, he was mentioning how this series is something that they're looking at as an opportunity to give some of these young French girls more experience of playing cricket at a higher level. There are a lot of young players in the team who haven't really played a lot of cricket.
As that is another great ball from Brereton. Nice line there. And Manuel just getting a little bit stuck in what she wants to do with it.
And a true gentleman, the head coach, Sarvanan.
Yeah, we'll try have a chat with him later in the series for sure. And just once again, they're asking for the nick, and the umpire says, yes, I heard that. And Brereton, she's jumping up and down with glee. Manuel is not too happy about it, but certainly the umpire heard something. Whether the bat flicked the pad, might just have another look at that again. Yeah, you just see the pad moving a little bit, so maybe she thought that didn't get the wood, but the umpire, well, he's the one that makes the decisions, and they've been doing a great job so far.
But nice to see Emmanuel Bralivet going up to the batter who's still around and having a word with her, probably discussing about sticking around there and playing out the full quota of 20 overs.
Yeah, she's a great leader, Bralivet. You saw yesterday after each match, she really gathers her team around, and they've got a plan. They're planning for 2023, and it's step by step by step. And these are the moments that they will look back and realize that the greatest foundations were laid here. And Bralivet, she's such an integral part of that. So, yeah, you're absolutely right, Uji, going up there and having a chat with the batter still out there, Kagawe, who is on strike now. And she will be facing Anuradha Doddabalapur, who's taken the 3 wickets already. That one's short. Just played with the full face of the bat.
Anuradha here on the brink of doing something spectacular for the second game on the trot.
Oh, she's taken another one, yes. That time, Kagawe, she has been playing so straight, and that time just went across the line and deceived all ends up by Anuradha, and she gets her 4th wicket. What an amazing spell that has been.
It's not every day that you end up picking up more wickets than the runs that are scored off of your bowling.
Yeah, she has done it though. She's already got 4 for 2. 4 for 2. What an incredible spell. Of course, in terms of ECN, this is an ICC competition, but in the ECN series, we've seen the best bowling figures were 6 for 2. And Anurata, well, she's got a chance here to at least match that.
Well, she's done a little better last time around. Her best bowling figures happen to be 5 for 1, if I'm not mistaken. She did this against Austria through the course of knocking off that world record where she got a double hat-trick, 4 on the trot. Can she improve on that? She has enough bowls left to pick up another pole or two here.
Yeah, so outstrides Marie Violot. She's the youngest member of the French team, only been playing cricket for a year. She loves having a bat. Her nickname, according to Leo Hero, is MV9. MV9.
She's one of our fan favorites here.
Violot 9. So here she comes, MV9. She's out there having a look around. All the fielders are right in. Anurata looking for her 5th wicket. And Marie just pats that back down, full face of the bat, and it is collected by Christina Goff, and it's a dot ball.
What would you give for those bowling figures at the end of a spell?
I could not even imagine having those bowling figures, to be honest. And as that one is hit to the offside again, a good full face of the bat from Violot. You've obviously never seen me bowl, OG, if you think that I would ever come close to figures like that. And that's well played again from Violot. But Anurata, yeah, she is an absolutely sensational player. We've seen she bats number 3, she captains the team and is doing the job with the ball now. And that one by Violot is placed nicely on the offside, just behind point, and they manage to scramble the single.
And that single there destroys Anurata's bowling figures.
Yeah, she'll be really sad. Really sad to have 4 for 3. And at the end of the 14th over, well, France, they're on 45 for 7. Slowed down a lot with those wickets through Anurata, but they'll be looking to just get past that 55-run mark they put on yesterday.
Well, jokes aside, what a fantastic performance there from Anurata. Doing that time and time again just shows the class of the cricketer.
So it's Brereton who's come in. Or as some of our viewers have suggested we call it, Dermy. Apparently nicknames are in vogue today, but not yesterday. But we'll just keep it as Susie. That's what her teammates call her. Susie B. In she comes. That one's too full down leg side. I feel.
Well, Marie Violot had the pleasure of scoring her first runs for the country yesterday. Can she get a few more here? That'll make her proud for sure.
Yeah, what a great feeling as well to play for your country, pick up a game, find that you're really good at it, and put on the national outfit. And it's short and wide. There's a big swing at it, but it's too wide. And the umpire extends the arms and says, this is the social distance measure, and also that was an extra.
Yeah, more compliments flying the way towards this ground. It does indeed cut a cute picture.
And that one is a big swing and a miss, and it runs down behind the keeper. And they're going to come through for the second. Christina Goff, she's got a very good arm, but some fantastic work there to get back for that run.
You could hear yells of keeper, keeper there.
Yeah, and Violot diving just to get the bat across the line.
That one missed everything.
Yeah, sure did. It really dipped down, didn't it?
Christina Goff was really quick on the ball there. But Marie was really quick between the wickets just as well.
So Susie B, in she comes. That one short and well played by Violot, and they're taking the single, even though there's the fielder. Oh, and that was a fearsome contest as Irma Frigno, who's come out to bat, Fragno, she really got the full force of the throw there, right on the shoulder.
Nice to see the fielder running up to check on the batsman, on the batter, apologies. I think it was Emma there at shot fine leg.
Oh, it's short and wide and cut down, but only as far as Anna Healy there. And it'll be no run. And I think a big difference as well, something that the French team will work on next, is in the field. They've been very active, very good, but just the return throws. You see the Germans, they get it in flat and hard, just as Emma Wagner did just then. The one that hit Fragno has been facing that, and it has trickled away to the leg side. They take a run, good running from the French. But we've seen it from Emma Wagner, and we saw it from Anna Healy, the ball after. The return throws from the field to the bowler or the keeper. Just get it in flat and hard. And of course, that will give the batter less chance to get home. And that's a beautiful shot. Wonderful, wonderful shot. Finding the gap there. And Violo puts one more run onto her total. So after 15, France, they are on 52 for 7.
So for those of you who are still wondering the rate at which France need to score to get across the line here, it's getting steeper by the minute, and they'll need to score at over 16 runs and over to pull this one off.
Yeah, it's a very tall order. I'm not quite sure that they're at that stage yet to be able to get 16 runs in an over and do it consistently, of course. They do have 5 overs left.
And for the first time in this series, I think we're going to get a look at Paris Vandenpoel with the ball.
Yeah, we saw her take a great catch yesterday, didn't we, Uji? Running back, one hand to it, clasp it in that right mitt. And
that was a strong contender for the play of the tournament as well, Joe.
yeah.
Brilliantly caught running back. She's practicing her run up there. I think she's going to run in and bowl some medium pace here, Paris. With 3 wickets to go, I think the German team will be looking to clean this up rather quickly. But can Marie and Irma Brignon see this one through for the French? Well, that one went right over the batsman. Will be called a no ball, and I'm certain that Paris there will be warned about the beamer.
Yeah, she's having a giggle about it. It's not the best warm-up ball that you want, of course, and Violo will be happy to have a free hit here.
This one's better. Bowls it on length, but Marie unable to clear that infield there.
Yeah, it was a much better ball, but you know what I really like from Marie there is that sometimes when you get a free hit, you kind of overthink it, and you don't play the ball on its merits, and I feel that one, she still played it on its merits while hitting through the line.
Paris bowls this one wide out to the fourth. No hesitation there from Marie this time. She smashes that one into the offside. They'll run back for a second. It's a great shot there from Marie, and that's more of what we'd like to see. There's been palpable expectations here from the French side today. Viewers have been expecting some improvement, and we've certainly witnessed that this has happened. Bowls this one a little fuller, and Marie meets it under her eye, but not really connecting well. So that one gets the inside edge and trickles down to the fielder at short fine leg. Short ball pulled away to the fielder at short fine leg. Emma holds the throw in. She's got a strong arm on her, Emma. But the running between the wickets has been pretty good here from the French women.
Yeah, very good. And so they can tick off that one little target. The lowest score they made yesterday was 55, and they've just moved past that to 56. Now it's just looking to get past that other target they put on yesterday. If they can get to 60, 67 and 70 and above, that's it's all small victories for the French.
Paris drags this one shot once again. Some hesitation there with that run, but I think it was a right call from
Irma.
Irma, who sent Marie back. There was no single to be taken there.
Yeah, Elma Fragno, we haven't seen too much of her in the series so far, but she's still out there.
Paris is hitting this deck a little hard, but too short to my liking. Also drags this one way across of off stump. That will be another wide. So a handful of runs coming by way of wides from the Germans here. But I guess they're trying to give most of their bowlers a go. As we see another wide from Paris.
And fair enough. It's a good opportunity to give everyone a run, a roll of the arm. And Varden Pole, she's been very loose, but she's got quite a nice action. She has this kind of little hop skip at the start of her action, which gets her into the flow of it.
Yeah, she gets her body behind the line in the delivery side. This one gets the top edge. And well, Irma will have to run back down to the shed. That'll be another wicket for the Germans. And Paris strikes in her first over. Well, she tries to play across the line over here. Finds the top edge. And once again, the German fielders hang on to their chances. Janet Reynolds is quickly walking up on the most number of catches held in this series so far. As safe as they come. We see that the French are falling away slowly over here. They lose their 8th wicket. As we see Sabine Baron striding into the middle. And these two will certainly be looking to play out these last 24 balls. France moves to 58 for the loss of 8 wickets at the end of the 16 overs. And the German juggernaut keeps moving along.
Yeah, they're so sharp in the field, just holding all their catches, Germany at the moment. And Fragno, I liked what she tried to do. She tried to beat the infield, which is essentially the best way they can go about it. But with only 2 wickets in hand, and again, just trying to meet those small targets, get it past 66,
right,
and bat out the next 4 overs. That'll be, I would imagine, the message coming from the coach and the captain.
Definitely, Joe. I'd be telling them to just try and get up across the 70-run mark. Make sure they remain unbeaten at the end. And it's these small opportunities that arise that should be taken to try and build some confidence as you move along.
I think it's Janet Reynolds, is it, coming on to bowl now?
It is, and the way she's spinning the ball, I think we're going to see some leg spin here. Haven't seen her bowl so far in this series so far, and here's a first look at Janet Reynolds. Will she be able to get the better off Marie? Well, she drags that one really short. Reminds me of a ranked shot ball from Adam Zampa that I saw at the Big Bash.
Yeah, it could take the spinners a while to get into it, especially if they haven't had a trundle yet.
This one will be a free hit. Do note that the ball bounced twice before reaching Marie on the first occasion. And that's why it was called a no ball. Well, Marie once again failing to make the most of a free hit. Janet flights that one beautifully, but fended off into the offside.
Yeah, there's some really, really great third ball from Janet. It's exactly what you want from the leg spinner. Bit of drift and drifting into the batsman and turning away from the right-hander.
I'd like to move Christina closer into the first or second slip there. Well, she's struck that one well, hasn't she? Marie appears to be quite powerful when it comes to cutting the ball.
Yeah, she has good timing. Yep, no, I'd be putting a slip in as well, trying to finish this job, but I quite like Janet's action. It reminds me of Stuart McGill a little bit. It's got this...
yeah, add in a little tuck, and then that would be McGill for you.
Yeah.
Beautifully flighted once again. This time around, we see that Sabine was good enough to meet the ball on the full. Plays it onto the leg side. Yet another dot ball. Janet's finding her line and length now.
Yeah, and we've seen the ball does really grip this pitch as well, so there's a bit of turnout there for Janet.
She's certainly capable of extracting that turn here. Well, bowls this one shot once again. Did that bounce twice before
Yeah,
reaching the
looks like
batsman?
Yeah.
It did, and that'll be another no ball and yet another free hit.
Yeah, so how do you approach a free hit now? Well, play it on its merits, but
I'd go straight down the track,
Yeah.
use my feet, try and get it in the full. Well, this one's shot once again.
and that one she could have probably left and picked up another no ball free hit.
Yeah, that's the kind of cricketing smarts that the French team would be looking to learn from and build as they move along into this future that's certainly very bright for them. They're charting a brilliant course. They're being led by eminent leaders on all fronts, both within the team, and they seem to have a very good support structure around them. So at the end of 17 overs, we see that they've moved along to 61 for the loss of 8 wickets, and they'll be desperate to try and find that extra 15 runs that can elevate their confidence. Paris here will run in to bowl her second over. She dangles that one nicely outside of off stump, drawing that drive from the batter.
Yeah, it's being a little bit caught on the crease there, Marie Violot. It was a good length from Paris.
She went back for that one while she should have been playing forward. This one's a little on the shorter side, but Marie manages to find the gap on the off. There isn't a second there for the taking, not on the arm of Emma from the deep. Or that was Janet. Both Janet and Emma have been really sharp in the field. They seem to have bullet arms there. Paris bowls a full toss here on the offside, but well, there's some hesitation there. They're running in for that single. Comes to an uneventful end.
Good running though, Uji. And they are certainly making inroads now. Only a couple of runs to go for their highest score of this series. And that will make their spirits soar even more than they are.
They certainly have played much better than they did in the last 2 games, Joe. This one's another beamer, and I think Paris will be told that she cannot bowl any further in this innings.
Yep, certainly called a no ball. Yeah.
They're having that chat now with the captain and the bowler. That was a second beamer. We saw her bowl one before, the very first ball of her spell.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed with that one ball. It's
And we see Sharu coming in to finish up this over now.
yeah, it's not a nice feeling to be told you cannot bowl anymore in this match, but that is why it is important when you're practicing that you're not throwing full toss balls at the batter's head, because it will get you taken off. It's too dangerous.
As we see Sharu here marking her run up. I was having a chat with her early on before this game and just commending her on her really nice action.
Now, this is exciting for me, Uji. We know that France, they're on the back foot. They're very unlikely to win this game, barring a miracle. But we've got 2 batters out there fighting for their country.
And that's exactly what Marie was speaking about earlier on during our chat. She was so excited and grateful to have this opportunity to represent her country on this big stage. And it's opportunities like these that we all vie for. Another short ball here from Sharu. Pulled effectively down to the fielder at square leg.
Yeah, great work there from Frohnmeier. She's very good in the field, but just again, showing that fight, showing that spirit, and it's about those small targets. They only need 2 more runs for their highest score in this series. We all want them to get there.
Fended down into the leg side there once again, just using the face of the bat to guide that one to the square leg fielder. That will wrap up the 18th over as the French move up towards the 70-run mark. They're on 65 for the loss of 8 wickets. And I agree with you, Joe. I think Marie and Sabine are doing a good job of seeing this through to the 20 overs, taking the runs that are coming along the way. There have been a fair few extras from the German bowling.
Yeah, it's been a little bit more sloppy in the field today from Germany than we saw yesterday, but it's all about this French fight for me at the moment. Just get through these next 2 overs, and I think they can take the small victory.
I'm on that wagon with you, Joe. I'm egging this team on. I want to see them keep these 12 balls out as Janet Reynolds comes in. Bowls another dot ball, does Janet.
And just lessons upon lessons here. The ball's pitched up. You can come down the pitch to it a little bit, use your feet, keep your head still, watch the ball.
Beautifully flighted once again, up about the batter's eye line. There's an opportunity there at the bowler's end, but wasn't a clean gather from Christina Goff. Christina Goff, of course, is fielding at first slip. So this should be Susanna, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like Susie B out there. So
Well,
let's see how the batsman who has not faced Janet's leg spin yet, Sabine Baron, how she goes against this.
Flights this one beautifully outside of off, getting the batter to have a shy at it, but that misses the blade, much to the agony of Janet, who is looking to pick up a wicket over here. Well, she's got that now. Managed to get this one a little closer to the batter, who tries to slap this one past the bowler, but only manages to find Janet in the way. And if there's anything we've learned today, it's about how safe a catcher Janet is. She's never going to put that one down, not in her own bowling. Brilliantly done. Another cotton ball we see from the German women's team.
She is turning it a lot, Janet, and yeah, that one just played a little bit in the wrong spot, of course, going straight back to her. But I feel like with the way she's turning it, if it's pitched a little bit on the offside, you can almost let it go and pick up the wide. So they're on 66, France, 1 wicket remaining.
And I would say 8 balls to negotiate here.
8 balls to negotiate, exactly. And if they can do that, then they'll tick off all those little boxes.
I'd also like to see them get past the 70-run mark. I think that would be a nice little mental lifter. And we see the last batter walking in. Janet has a couple of balls to go up her sleeve in this over. And she'd love to get another scalp here. It's nicely struck onto the leg side, but that won't be a single. This is Cindy Breteche.
Breteche, yeah.
Who's been quite the effective bowler throughout this campaign for the French.
Yeah, she's been very good.
Can Breteche have a swing over here? Well, she does that, gets the back of the bat there and falls just short of Christina Goff there, who was trying to get her hands underneath that one.
Would have been a remarkable catch if she pulled this off.
Well, look at how this one gets the back of her bat.
Yeah, bit of glove.
Just falling short of Christina there, who is diving in front. That one's well and truly shot, but clipped and pulled straight to the fielder, who was close in there. So that wraps things up here. We have the French folding for 67 runs here. The German team has been just as clinical as we've come to expect them to be. But the French can still hold their heads up high. They put in a much better performance today with the bat. They showed more intent. They put the ball across the boundary more frequently. They also ran like hares between the wickets. And they managed to score their highest total of this T20 series so far. The German team, though, once again being headed superbly by their skipper, who managed to pick 4 wickets and gave away only 3 runs, but supremely supported in the field, but also by the other bowlers around her. Anuradha was splendid with the ball. Janet was excellent in the field and with the bat earlier on. As we see the French team and the German team lining up. to shake on what was once again a game played in the brightest of spirits. There's an excellent atmosphere here, and what a spectacle to catch here. This is a lovely broadcast brought to you by the ECN in cooperation with the ICC, of course. And these are brilliant pictures to see.
Yep, another dominant display by the Germans here against the French, and a lot of lessons for the French. They will take out of it. They got their top score for the series so far. They played it much better, much straighter bats, not swiping across the line so much. They were sharper in the field, and those are the little things I want to take from it. As for Germany, well, that, I think you called them the juggernaut, just keeps running along, and there's a few match winners for that team, aren't there? Like you said, Janet Rollins with the bat, putting on that excellent 35. And we'll just see some of the highlights now from the French innings.
So it started off with the batters trying to be more positive, but Anna Healy took that beautiful cotton ball. They've been grabbing them with single hands at the German women. This was an excellent dive to her left. Suzanne almost pulled that catch off. That would have been another blinder. But what we saw that was really engaging today was the number of boundaries struck by the French women. They managed to clear the infield a few times, but they also found the fielders occasionally.
Yeah, and then we saw Marie Violot come out and show some real fight and spirit. And of course, that was all until Tara Britton. Tara Britton, she was there for a long time actually, until she got bowled, as we just saw there. And then it was just some good opportunities taken. Excellent keeping there by Kartika. And at the end of the day, it is Germany who have picked up their third victory out of 3 matches for this series. And that was really a story. Well, here we see the fight from Marie Violot. She came out and started swinging. They're doing the job with the ball, and now she did it with the bat for her team and country.
They kept going on, though, the German women. They kept running in, trying to hit those good lines and lengths. Janet Ronalds was brought into the attack. She took a little while to find her line and length, but then she was quite effective in getting a couple of wickets herself.
Yeah, and
that was the cotton ball chance that she did not put down. She was very gleeful to accept that.
Yeah, absolutely. Took a while to get her line and length right there, Janet. And there were some fielders flying around out there. They mainly took all their chances, very difficult ones. And this is what it's all about, folks.
Well, we've been really enjoying this action, haven't we, Joe? And it's been a pleasure bringing it all in.
Absolutely, Uji. It really has. Seeing these two great nations, there's so much history between them. And it is just wonderful to see them battling it out on the cricket field here in the beautiful Krefeld National High Performance Centre. And we've seen some high performance here from the Germans. But of course, with the French, they tried to fight for it. It was at the top of the order. Tara Britton, she was there for a long time, 12 of 28. And then Jennifer King, she gave some able support, but they were not able to go on. In the center of the innings, there were a few too many ducks to be able to make an indent into that total. Yeah. And then it's really the bowling from the Germans.
Anuradha, once again, such an effective bowler she is. She bowled a maiden as well, but what really captures the eye is the number of wickets. Look at that wicket column. She got 4 of them and just gave away only 3 runs. She was ably supported by the rest of the bowling attack. Anna Healy was miserly, giving away only 3 runs for the per over in the 3 overs that she bowled. Janet Ronalds, sparkling performance here from her with the bat, with the ball, and definitely so with in the field as well. So Germany beat France by whooping 65 runs in this third fixture. And we have 2 more games that are coming up tomorrow, and I'm sure they'll be more evenly contested than these games have been so far. The French have constantly been improving through their experience, and I'm sure it's going to be one heck of a day tomorrow. Do tune in. It's Ujjwal Gadiraju with you, and I'm joined by the very able Joe Eggs, and we've been enjoying bringing all of this live action, and we can't wait to see you here tomorrow. But for now, I think there's a lot of nice things that are waiting both Joe and me, and we're probably going to get down to that. But I'm sure that you've been enjoying all of this action. Wait for us tomorrow. We'll be right here bringing you more stories right into your homes. Thanks a lot for joining. That's all from us here today. Good day. Goodbye.
Ciao for now.